one of his more famous songs.
And well, if you type that in and then that, you just like get all these like acoustic versions, and I really like the music to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the end. I'm not gonna pretend I like the end of the song. The end of the song is very boring, and it sounds nothing like the rest of the song. It's my favorite song, but it's like I don't know. One of my least favorite endings to a song.
Oh, okay. Well, that's funny to have that all in one song. To have your favorite song, but also the
one of my least favorite endings, honestly. Yeah. Where do I sit toward the mic? Like,
you can.
Is there a certain way to like?
You can scoot over just a little bit more. Can you put that on silent?
Oh mute? Yeah. You got the remote or the.
I do have the mouse. Okay, because that is.
Super annoying.
That's incorrect. That's as if somebody was watching it. That's what they're seeing. And it's supposed to be as if we're recording it. So I need to change that. But whatever. Anyway. So, what's up, everyone? If you are catching this episode again, you know what happened earlier. And that's not going to happen this time. But welcome to another episode of the rudy-nomics podcast. This episode is brought to you by Anchor app, where I stream all my stuff on. You can find it on iTunes and Google Cast and all that. And then again, we're brought to you by Hempies, the official hemp smoke shop emporium sponsor to the podcast. Do you want me to move that closer to you?
I can move it closer. It's fine. I didn't want to like hit that.
Oh yeah. And today's guest, or this moment's guest, I should just say today's guest, because they don't know that I'm doing more people in one day. Jingles, huh? Is Sydney Carson. Hey, Sydney.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Do you want to tell people that we're sitting here drinking at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
See, I was thinking, I'm so glad that when it's on YouTube or whatever, they won't know.
Oh, they won't.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, little do they know that we're sitting here. It is actually 11 a.m.
Yes, this is Brian, and we're having mimosas right now.
I went to have mimosas with a friend of mine one time, and they weren't what I thought they were. I had them mixed up with mojitos.
Oh.
And mojitos are actually pretty good.
Mimosas, it's like orange juice, right?
It's orange juice and some kind of wine.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh, that's not that fun.
Yeah.
And for one, orange juice is very bad for you. It's nothing but sugar.
Orange juice is bad for you?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah.
It's nothing but sugar. I don't know if you knew this, but when you eat fruit, when you have fruit, and you actually take away the aspect of how it's formed and how it's made, like an apple, and you take just the juice or the pulp and you blend it, it actually changes the way your body digests it and just turns it into plain sugar. So all these smoothie places, they're supposed to be healthy and blah blah blah. It's a lie. Because your body actually absorbs it way differently if it's blended than if you were to naturally eat it with as whole with your teeth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Digestive wise.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, I do it anyway.
And yeah, once again, little Lana is back there. My producer / doesn't want to be in the show / comments on the show while on the show. And every once in a while she'll put her little 2 cents in, and then I'll give her change and kick her out. Like a good little hooker. No, I'm just joking.
I didn't see any money.
Sorry. So, Sid, you are very funny. From day one, I thought you were very funny.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Same.
No, you don't think I'm funny at
Yeah,
all. No, you don't.
I do. I rarely see you, though.
Yeah. Well, lately I've been getting earlier spots, and I know that you would usually get your spot, and then you would just jet, gone out the door.
Yeah, and now I miss earlier spots sometimes because I'm still taking my naps, and then I show up.
Still taking your naps?
I take a nap after work. I work at 5:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and then right after work, I go home and take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go to whatever mic after my nap.
Mm-hmm.
And stay out. I can stay out late because I've had my nap. And then I just have, like, another nap. And then I go to work the next day. So I just have, like, 2 naps a day.
I can totally understand that because I feel like I need a nap after I get out of work sometimes. And I don't go until 8. So I get up at 7. Yeah. And I could just imagine getting up at 5:30. Like they try to ask me to do that when I first moved to Monday through Friday day shift. And they're like, are you gonna come in at 6? I'm like, no, hold on, because this was my choice. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. They were like, I was like, the only way I'll come to first shift and work Monday through Friday is I can come in at 7:30. They were like, okay. The first week and a half, I missed every day. I was late every day, and my boss was like, the main boss, the warehouse boss was like, hey man, I know we changed your hours and you've been late all this time, and I know it's because you haven't adjusted to the time yet. And like, but would it be easier if we changed it to 8 o'clock instead of 7:30?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, you know what? I am having a hard time adjusting. I was like, I think 8 o'clock would be better.
Oh my god, that's crazy. They did the exact opposite of that to me. I used to come in at 6, and I was considered an opener, but like, they have this thing where like, you have a 7-minute window where you can like, you can be late. Like, you can be like 7 minutes late and it won't count against you. I was an opener and I would open alone, and like, I work customer service at a pretty popular hardware store, and it's like, I couldn't be coming in at 6:07. Like, there would be a line of people, but I was still kind of doing it. So they were like, we're going to have you come in at 5:45 from now on. And so, yeah, I try to get there by like 5:30. And like, I don't know. I realized like, they were mad at me, and like, but they were nice about it. But they were like, you're within your right to come in at 6:07, but man, like, this is not good.
Why give you that option?
So now I come in at like 5:52, or I was for a while, like just right there, like last minute, 5:52, like 7 minutes after 5:45. I'm trying to get there earlier now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's hard to fluctuate a full-time job. And then trying to do good at comedy. That's the key word. Trying to do good in comedy. Yeah. Because you can do comedy. Like, there was a time period where I was only doing 2 mics a week, maybe 3. And I was having fun. And I'm still having fun now. But it was, and I was doing all right. I was having a good time. But honestly, was my comedy good? No. Could it be better? Yes. Can it still be better now? It can still be better now. But like, compared to then, when I the huge difference I noticed from doing 2 mics a week to 9.
You do 9?
Yeah, I do up to 9 a week.
Ooh.
Is way different.
You do 9? Do you live here?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it seems like it'd be hard to do it living here. Like, I could understand if you lived in like Louisville or something. Really, it's like,
to me, I feel like I'm right in the middle. I could go to Fort Worth, do 2 or 3 on Monday. And Arlington on Tuesday has 1 or 2, and I can always go to Fort Worth, and I can always go to...
Arlington has... What do they have on Tuesdays?
They have, Tuesday they have Hooligans Pub, has a mic there. And I think One Love Lounge...
I'll go down for
One Love Lounge has a mic there. There's also the... Well, I don't know if you'd go to it. What? Are you straight up white? Like, cracker all the way? Yeah. Yeah? No Hispanic in you at all?
Honestly, like, I have... I was just thinking about this earlier. I have, like, my sister and I have so many medical problems that, like, when our parents went to, like, they looked back at our genes, they like, sat us down, and they were like, so we're about to find out, like, where we're from and everything, and, like, we might be related, like, because, like, with all the medical problems y'all have. We're not. They're not. My parents are not related.
To each other?
No. Like, that's what they were basically saying. They were like, we might be, like, related or something because of how many medical problems y'all have. That's what my parents, they, like, sat us down and told us that before, like, we got, like, before both sides of our family, like tracked the genes back. and then, like, we got it and we found out, like, they're not related. They're just, like, so white. Like, there was, like, no... anything else, like, yeah, I don't know. Like one Native American, like,
got raped in there somewhere.
Probably. Honestly, I mean, you gotta think like, why? Like, how is it that white? It's like, ooh, I don't. I wouldn't want to meet my ancestors.
It's kind of like they're so white. They're like that one little spot of Ireland where like people don't go anywhere, and they're just like all. They've been like generations of the same people. Well, you guys have got to be banging each other's guns at one point.
Right, yeah. Well, okay, so it was like Scotland. My dad's side was Scotland, and my mom's side was like Welsh. Mm-hmm. And like that goes back like really far. But like it's like so white that's why we have medical problems, because might as well be related.
Oh my goodness. You mentioned that earlier. A back problem?
That was my fault, though.
Oh.
That was my bad. My back problem is my fault.
What did you do?
So I was a cheerleader for a long time, and I was just like really obsessed with like being the best at it, and they made us like lift weights in like the weight room in high school and in college. I was a cheerleader in college too. And, like, they had these posters that said, pain is weakness leaving the body. And that was, like, my religion. And I was, so anytime I would get any kind of pain, like, I would go into, like, denial of, like, I need to, like, fix this. And I would think, like, I'm just getting stronger, you know? But that's... So... I messed up my back really bad doing... Like, I ignored a back injury for... It was a really long time, and it ended up being a slip vertebrae.
Were you, like, deadlifting or something?
I was deadlifting.
What was the cause of the injury? Like, do you know?
Too many crunches.
Ab crunches?
Yeah. So what happened was...
What do you mean too many crunches?
You can do too many... I was doing... Okay, so I didn't have, like... It's going to sound like I had, like, an eating disorder or something, but I didn't. What happened was...
Thanks for clarifying that.
I was running. I was, like, running all the time, and I was, like, addicted to the runner's high. It happens to people.
It does. No, it does. I've never had it, because I've never pushed myself that far in running to ever get it.
I loved it. It's great. But, like, so I was doing that, and I was running, like, just, like, 2 miles a day and for a while, and then I got stress fractures in my feet from that, and so I had to stop, and then I was like, oh, I missed that high. And so I started getting, like, a, like, crunches high from doing, I don't know, like, with cheerleading, like, you have to have abs. You have to have, like, strong abs for a lot of stuff, and so I was like, I'm just getting stronger. This is, like, the best thing I could be doing is like this many. So I was doing 900 crunches a day. 300 at a time, no stopping, like full crunches, like shoulders off the ground and everything. And like it took you know a little under 300, whatever it was, to get the high toward the end. Like but then I got to where like it started to hurt really bad anytime I did those, and I was like, maybe I should stop. Like, I don't feel like I should stop. You know, like all this weakness has been leaving my body. I should be getting stronger. What am I doing? Like, is this actually not so simple?
So, a few things. I want to get to a few things I just learned about you. One thing is, why do I just imagine you like coming out with those cheerleaders, like super ripped, and with your like 6-pack just sticking out from the midriff of your cheerleader outfit?
I wanted to be like that. Dude, I wanted to be like that, but I didn't know about protein. So I didn't get the results even. Like I wasn't that strong because I wasn't eating enough protein. I just thought I was supposed to work out.
So, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you had a lot of lean muscle though, right?
Yeah, but you need protein.
I mean,
like,
for the
honestly,
muscles to get bigger,
protein. Like, so I was also a swimmer, and so it's just too much. Yeah, it looked like I had muscle because I was so skinny, like, you know, for a while there, but I don't know, yeah.
Just not a lot of body fat?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of body fat whenever I was working out like that, like, it was, because, like, if you don't have a lot of body fat and you have some muscle, like, it looks like you have a lot of muscle sometimes. Yeah. But you don't. It's just...
I feel like that's a jab at me.
Wait, what?
I feel like that was a jab at me. You can have some muscle, but, you know, on top of the fat.
No.
Like, yeah, I know. I'm one of those. Yeah, there was a point where I was doing really good in weightlifting, and then shit happened, and I'm trying to get back in there right now. And
I messed up with that too because so in college we had to lift weights every morning for cheerleading, and so I was like the littlest one and the weakest one. Like I was a flyer. I don't really need to be lifting. I mean, I guess I did, whatever. But so like they were throwing me in the air. I wasn't throwing anybody in the air or holding anybody up. But like I had this whole team of cheerleaders cheering me on to because I'm the littlest one to lift more because I was always having to lift the least and it sucked, Yeah. And so I was giving into peer pressure, I guess, to lift too much because that was another thing. It wasn't just the crunches. It was it's technically a repetitive motion injury, but it was also lifting with improper form and because I would lift things that were too heavy and I would just use my whole body to get it up instead of
that's not
how you're supposed to.
There's some
and my form was bad when I was tumbling too. I didn't do gymnastics right. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't learn from the best people. Maybe I don't know.
It's like anybody was giving you advice. It's just here's the equipment. Do what you can do.
Just figure out how to do backflip.
It's like 250 pounds. Figure out how to get it up.
Whenever you're in gymnastics, you need to have at least 2 coaches there because you need to have somebody spotting you when you're a kid, and then you need to have somebody watching you. But I only had when I started doing gymnastics, I only had a spotter. There was only one coach there. So she couldn't really see my form and tell me, oh, you're doing this. So I just learned wrong. I don't know.
Okay, and when did you get into gymnastics? Was that, before cheerleading?
Yeah. It was, because I was, trying to do backflips off the couch and stuff at home, and my parents were we gotta get this under control.
What made you want to do backflips at home? Just wild?
No, man. I've always been like that. I'm still like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just did a backflip at Hyenas and landed on my face the other day because I got drunk.
Shut up!
Not at Hyenas, but it was after Hyenas.
No.
I saw some grass and I was like, "That's safe," and then I landed on my face
you did
a little bit.
Backflip while you were out in public, because you had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, you should have been at Dusty's last Sunday. I don't get drunk that often, but when I do, I think I'm a cheerleader again. And
that is awesome, though.
I was doing handstands and stuff.
Let's all buy Cindy some couple of shots
so we can balancing watch her on things and doing. I did a really. I think Liz. I think Liz has a video. Liz Spot. I think she had. I don't know how. Maybe it was a Snapchat. I don't know how that works. I don't know how social media works, or if she just took a video. I need to ask her about that because it was a really long handstand. I was walking on my hands. I was I didn't think I was gonna be here this long. I'm just I don't
That's
know.
Cool. I did miss it. Where was I at?
It was this last Sunday.
I think I was. Past Sunday. Where was I at Sunday?
Yeah, I don't think you were there.
Oh, I had a showcase. That's right. I was in Dada's showcase, which went really well. It was an amazing showcase. So that went really well. But usually I am at Dusty's on Sundays.
Yeah.
So you just sound like you were a very exciteful, energetic child, and a thrill seeker. A little bit of thrill seeker.
Yeah,
well, 100%. Do you still have that personality trait right now?
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on myself and not be like that because I'm gonna get hurt. It's weird. It changed my personality almost whenever I got injured because that was my whole personality. There wasn't much to me, honestly. I don't mean it like that, but honestly, kind of. I don't know, when you're a cheerleader, you don't really have to try that hard to and I don't know, nobody was bullying me anymore. When I became a cheerleader, it was I didn't really get along with the cheerleaders, but people weren't messing with me anymore once I became a cheerleader, and so it's
well, shit, you're all steroid up. I wouldn't mess with you either.
I did not look threatening. I've never looked threatening. She's sitting there doing 1,000 crunches everywhere she goes. I saw her walking up the school steps with 500 books on her back. Going, no pain. Yeah. Yeah, life was simple when I used to think that way. I thought everything was really simple. But I just had to, yeah.
Well, yeah, when we were younger,
it's a dumb poster. Take those posters down that say that. That's so stupid.
Or you should just say it smaller and don't read too much into this, guys.
Yeah, at least that. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I didn't know whenever I got injured though, and like, well, not when I got injured. When I like accepted that I was injured several years later, and like got the diagnosis, got the MRI and everything, that I had a slip vertebrae and I had like stress fractures in my back, which I think those like heal or something, like something.
I think
something
they
like
can get over it.
Those like healed, I think. Stress fracture. I mean, the slip vertebrae is always just gonna be like that. Like
they can't like put it back.
Yeah, but it's like the success rate isn't great.
No.
Like I guess it slips again or something. Like a lot of people end up regretting it, and not only regretting it because they paid for it and it's it started happening again, but also because it ends up messing up their feet, so they have another problem.
Is it surgery to get that fixed too?
Yeah.
There's a surgery, but like the doctor that I see, he doesn't think I should get it because I was fit when I got injured. Like, people who aren't fit, sometimes they'll, like, go ahead, I guess. I don't know. But I have the ability to, like, exercise, to build enough muscle to, like, support this whole area.
Like, if your core is strong enough around that.
I do physical therapy exercises every day, like, multiple times a day. Like, on my breaks at work, I have to lay down in the training room or in the break room and, like, do my physical therapy exercises just so that I'm, like, not in, like, constant pain and stuff. So, I used to, like, take a lot of, like, I've taken a lot of breaks from doing comedy because of that, because of, like, medical problems, because, like, I have these muscle relaxers that make me not funny, like.
Oh yeah, you don't.
And I even try to write on them, and I'm like, oh, this is so good, and then once it wears off, I'm like, this is stupid. Or even doing comedy on muscle relaxers, or even talking to people on muscle relaxers, like, I don't feel different, but everybody else knows that I'm, like, they can tell, but I can't tell.
Yeah. It's
not fun or anything. So it's like, I don't know, they help, but I'll, like, be talking to somebody, and then I'll just kind of give up halfway through the sentence and be like, I don't know what I was talking about. Like, just go talk to somebody else. This is boring. I'm sorry. I do that a lot. I'll start telling a story, and then I'm like, this is boring. I'm sorry. I would, like, but, like, for, like, a year, though, I was still trying to do comedy while I was on them, and I just did the same stuff, like, over and over again for, like, a year, and I was like, what am I doing? Yeah.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
Since 2014.
2014?
Yeah, off and on though. Like, it was never.
So
this is the most
almost
consistent.
5 years, huh?
Yeah. I never meant to, like, quit, but I, like, always ended up. Like, the first time I quit was because I was, like, letting people letting people smoke cigarettes on me. I was around people who were smoking cigarettes, and they'd be like wafting into my face and stuff, and then I get bronchitis really easily. Because I have asthma, I have, like, every problem, but, and then I lose my voice every time I get bronchitis for at least a month.
Really?
Bad.
Wow.
Like, it'll be completely silent for most of the month, and then the rest of the time it's, like, this weird screeching sound, and I have to, like, yell almost to get any sound to come out, so it's bad. I'm trying really hard not to get it this year, but I usually get it, like, once a year. But, that was the first time I quit doing comedy. And then it took me a really long time to get over that. And then I started doing comedy again. And then what did I do? This is just becoming about my medical problems.
That's fine. Talk about whatever.
I had a problem with like acid reflux, or what I thought was acid reflux at the time. It wasn't.
What did it turn out to be?
I have a yeast infection in my esophagus.
How did you get that?
Right?
No, I think
asthma medicine.
I think you get yeast infection pretty much anyway.
My asthma medicine causes it, so that's great. That I need to take every day. It's like a steroid.
You better be careful with that. People are gonna be saying, like, you're over here eating dirty panties.
Yeah, I know, right? I gotta.
Did you hear about Sydney? She's got a dirty panty infatuation. She eats them.
No, there's this one one of our fellow comedians. he's like really into like medical science stuff, and he I think he cured like his own like some kind of infection or something, and so I've like been talking to him about it, and he's like, I don't know, he's like, he sends me links and stuff, and then like we'll be talking about it like at Mike's or whatever, and then he's like, bye, good luck with your yeast infection. We did that at Killers, and I was like,
do I
in
know?
my esophagus.
Do I know the comic?
Everybody knows.
Oh, okay. Can you want to say who it is?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you'd be fine with it, but I don't want to I don't know.
Well, who is it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it if I don't know if he's.
You think he'd take offense to it? Why not?
I don't think so, but I just never want to say anything just in case.
Okay, we won't say anything.
If I make anybody sound bad, I don't want to.
Tell you what, if I ever have him on and we talk and he brings it up himself, I'll be like, "Oh, you were the one."
Oh, I'll tell him.
It's kind of like a game for me in a sense. Like, let me figure out who this was.
Yeah. No, I had a bit about it, and it wasn't very good, and I quit doing it. But I don't know. I didn't say who he was because he wasn't around. I was gonna ask him if like he was cool with it, and then I just quit doing it.
Speaking of that, do you have? I've heard you mention being a cheerleader on stage before, but do you have a bit about like that specific situation, like being a cheerleader, getting buff, and not having to, and like the whole that whole line that you gave me right now, the whole like
used to do stuff like that,
like the line where you gave me, where like I don't have to develop a personality, I just became a cheerleader. That's a pretty good line.
Yeah, I like did that first. I don't know. It's like I don't remember. It was like we were talking about it ourselves in college. Like you had to introduce yourself, and that was like a line I used, and I was like, "That's good." They laughed. That's why I started doing comedy. Actually, like I have like really bad stage fright, and I would have issues like with class presentations. Like I would get so nervous. Like I'd just be like, these people don't want to listen to what I have to say or whatever, and I would just like kind of like tell little like jokes or whatever I could come up with on the spot, and once they laugh I'd be like, okay, and then like I could continue with like whatever presentation, and then like I started writing jokes for the presentations, and then like kind of getting excited about having to give presentations.
Well, there you
and
go,
I was like,
man.
I'm gonna do comedy. I didn't like grow up watching stand up. I thought it was weird. Dude, I thought it was so cringy. I was like, who does that? I was like, if you like went back in time and told me, like young me, that I would be doing this, like I would be doing comedy, I would have been like, well, stop me. Like, that's ew.
Like, don't do that. No.
Yeah.
I thought we're supposed to get smarter as we get older.
Right?
That's very interesting. It's very unique that I find somebody when I'm talking to them that they actually start out by not saying they were a fan of comedy.
Most people were, yeah.
I don't get too many of that, so it's interesting to hear somebody say like, "No, I actually never really wanted to do it," or anything like that. But
I never even gave like stand-ups like a chance. Like I saw. Like, I watched Full House when I was a kid, and the Joey Gladstone character was, like, so cringy, and I was like, oh my god, that was, like, my idea of what a stand-up comedian was, and then there was this one episode where he, like, gives it up and gets, like, a real job, and I was like, good for him. Like,
give up on your dreams?
Yeah, like,
you were horrible.
Finally.
Now, okay, if that's if I can understand where you get this idea from, like, because... Yeah. I used to see him. I remember watching that show. I never really watched it too often. I really started watching it when the oldest daughter started growing boobs. So I was like, hey, what's going on here? But before that, I was like, that's so stupid. Yeah. But like, plus I was a teen also. Like I was in that age frame, like 11, 12. But like I saw him as like a dumb goofball uncle, but he was fun. But like. I didn't really think that he was a comedian. Is that what he was?
He was a comedian. That was his job. I mean, he had like other little like gigs and stuff where he was like on a like children's show.
He must have been a horrible
something.
comedian because he never went anywhere.
His jokes sucked. Like I was like, this guy sucks. This whole storyline with the Joey guy is so sad. Like I was like, this is the saddest storyline. Like it's like a happy show or whatever, but that's like I hated it. So just like I don't know.
It's like you have a crappy comedian guy who's trying to do something, but he's really bad at it. And then you have the the crappy bad boy who can't even be a good bad boy because he's over here living with his family. And like, you're really not that much of a bad boy image guy. You're bad at that doing too. So it's just a house full of losers. The only one that was good was the dad.
And he was
because he was doing what he was supposed to be doing as a father when his wife died, and he's doing it as best as he can. But like, then he's got these other guys.
Yeah, those other two guys, they lived there for free.
Like,
they didn't have to pay rent, I'm sure.
No, they did not.
Yeah, no, he wasn't charging them rent.
No, he was not. He's just like,
really nice.
How do you even know them? Were they related to him? Like, to Bob Saget? What were they?
They were supposed to be his brothers, weren't they?
Or no, Joey was just a friend.
Yeah.
The comedian, right? That's the Joey one. Yeah. And then the Uncle Jesse one is his wife's brother, I think.
Okay, because there's no way it's his brother. They're like totally different. Fucking Jesse looks like some kind of Hispanic or...
Well, he doesn't look anything like the supposed wife, I think, right? The wife died or whatever, the mom died. She was like all, I don't know. I don't remember. She's like all blonde and like really white or something. I don't remember.
You know what's weird though? They
I thought he dyed his hair, Jesse.
Oh, maybe he was actually blonde?
No, I don't think so.
I think he was dyeing his hair.
No, his hair's still black now.
What? Maybe he was dyeing it because it was like graying or something. Maybe if that was an episode, I bet. He was like really vain and stuff. Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. If I was a father of 3 girls, I would be like, eventually I'd be like, okay, man, you guys are grown men. You're going to have to eventually move out of here. Because they're going to be teens. Yeah. And as you guys go.
Oh, yeah, and then he gets Jesse gets a wife and they just move into the attic. Yeah. They're 2 twins. That's kind of crazy.
It was weird. It was a weird show. Like, when you actually think about it, it's kind of weird. I like did you ever watch Family Matters with like Urkel the nerd?
Yeah, I didn't watch it that much. I don't think it was
like
on
at
the right time. No, I watched the shit out of the Cosby Show, dude. No, but oh my god, that was like my favorite show. But no, I didn't. I don't know. Like Family Matters, I don't think it was like maybe it was on a different channel or something. I was like, I don't know. I never really saw. I know I'm familiar with it, but
it's on the Poor People channel. That's why I get it.
On the Poor People channel?
I get it.
Oh, I had only the Poor People channels, man.
Whatever.
That was really late night.
Did you want another one since you're already done?
Should I? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we got one. Lana, can you get her one more?
Thank you.
Give me one more too, please.
You want me to get that salt?
Nah, it's alright. Well, yeah, the salt shaker. I'm gonna throw a little bit in. I'll toss a little bit in mine. So injuries, background. Never really wanted to be a comedian, and here you are. You're actually a pretty good comic.
Thank you. I'm trying.
I mean, I'm not trying to say like by saying the word actually it makes me sound like a dick.
No.
But like, I've always enjoyed your comic from the day one I first saw you. I was like, this girl's pretty fucking cool. She's good at it.
Cool, good.
And I can't say that about every female comic, but I can say that since I've started, the female comics that I have watched from the beginning have grown a lot. I will say that.
I got my keys, or I could use that.
Like easier on you.
Thank you.
Do you like my little bottle opener? You know who that is?
What's his? I'm not really familiar with the
Rick and Morty show.
Is it Mr. something?
Mr. Pickles.
Mr.
No.
Poopy Head.
Poopy Head.
Yeah,
you don't know how to use a bottle opener, do you?
Yeah, I do.
That's the opposite way.
Oh.
It's from the bottom up.
Oh, okay.
No. Put it in.
Yeah.
Put it in.
I hope everybody's enjoying this. I have one. You know what? It doesn't matter. I have one that is that other way. Okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, you do, but this isn't it.
It's like that's what I was doing with my keys, but I couldn't figure.
Oh, Sid. Hey, thank you again for last night. You came. You really saved my life that night.
Yeah, I found out I got off work. I was still at work. I didn't even see when John messaged me at first about coming to do the show, and I was like, uh-oh, and then I just ran home and got a shower, and then I was like, okay, I gotta get ready. Yeah, that's fun.
It was fun. I like that they had the free bar, and then like, it was an experience. I will tell you that because when I first got up there, it was nobody really was really paying attention. But I would say like the experience of keep going and keep sticking with it and don't let it show like the fact that they're not paying that much attention is getting to me. Yeah, it's throwing me off. And slowly more and more people started paying attention, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Well, I also realized kind of like, honestly, like, I didn't... Yeah, it wasn't until after my set, when John was up there, I was like kind of standing at different points in the crowd trying to see where you could hear, because you kind of, honestly, you couldn't really hear, like, halfway through. Like, the people who could hear were paying attention, and they were, like, listening and laughing and stuff. It's just, those are the only people who could really hear. It's just, like, shape of the room and stuff. It's, the way that sound travels in a place like that, it just...
Yeah. I think, and the guy who was doing it, when I first stepped off, he was like, hey, he's like, good set, but, like, they didn't really have the levels right on what they should have for when it comes to...
Oh, like, there was, like...
Yeah, somebody talking on that. Because even he noticed that... something like that. Okay.
But then again, what's his face? John? Yeah, he knew how to get attention.
He did such a
Yeah,
good job. That was
great.
brilliant, yeah.
Oh.
When he told everybody...
When he was, like, acting like, the
like
Ford
the car,
truck, yeah.
Like, excuse me, somebody parked in a Ford truck?
That was such a good idea.
I didn't even think about that.
That was such a good idea to get their attention.
Yeah. I didn't wake up in time to hear the show because they do it Saturday mornings, but they did talk a little. They talked a little bit about it. They talked they did a lot about how the night went, and I still haven't got a chance to see what they said about the comics to see if they enjoyed us or maybe something like that. But I feel like it's a fun little way to get a little exposure if they did mention us or not. Either way, like it's always nice to meet.
You guys did get mentioned. I heard it in the radio. They just didn't mention your names.
Well, that was towards the end. I think they they just went over it for a little bit.
We probably would have heard more praise if we had instead of going toward the back of the room or whatever after our sets, if we'd kind of stood over near where on the side where everybody who could hear us was, they would have probably talked to us more and stuff and made us feel better about it.
Yeah. But as far as comedy goes, you say you take breaks because of your injuries?
No breaks were intentional, but yeah, it was me. I'm just trying to figure out how to live with my medical issues. But yeah, that I had the acid reflux break thing was me trying a different acid reflux pill, and you have to it takes 2 weeks for it to start working, and it was I don't remember what Prevacid or something. I moved from ranitidine to Prevacid, and so in that 2 weeks I was really struggling to get my food to even go down. So I was drinking a ton of water, and I was drinking over 2 gallons of water a day, and you're not supposed to do that.
No.
So that makes you stupid a little bit, and I'm lucky nothing bad happened to my kidneys, but I think I was just flushing all the vitamins out of my system because I was so tired all the time. I was in college and I was struggling in my classes, and it, for a few months I was doing that, and I just started
a few months
because I got in a habit of it. I think it was 2 months actually. I got in this habit of drinking so much water every time I ate, because it was the only way I could get it down. Even once the pills started to kind of work, I was still doing it. It turns out I never had acid reflux. It's not what it is. It's a symptom of an esophageal yeast infection.
How long did it take for them to figure that out?
I got a I went to the gastroenterologist, and I was like, hey, I can't burp unless I drink vinegar or eat mustard, he was like, that's weird. And he was like, okay, we'll do an endoscopy.
Yeah, I was about to say, did they do a scope?
Yeah, and then so when they did that, they're like, yeah, you have like a yeast infection in there, and like it's hard to get them to like give me the pills for it because they're really bad for your liver, or it's like dangerous. They're not bad, but it's well, no, it's not an antibiotic. It's an antifungal. It's like like for it's for any kind of yeast infection.
It's one of those that where if your kidneys aren't healthy, it can really hurt them. Because it can attack the end of the.
I think it's the liver though. That's what they're.
The liver?
Yeah, because they're like making me get these blood tests to check my liver every time they give me these pills.
Okay, then it's
like,
the liver.
Yeah, it's just like it's fluconazole. It's for like the regular kind of yeast infection, honestly, like the normal kind, where you only take like one and it's supposed to work for a whole week. And they gave me like a lot of them because it's hard to get rid of it in here. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. Like there's just been multiple times where I've been taking it for like a month, and then it'll get better, and then I get bronchitis and have to go on antibiotics, which antibiotics cause it to happen again, or it'll like make it a lot worse. Mm-hmm. And that on top of the steroid that causes it, it just like keeps coming back because it's been like 7 years that I've had this infection.
And what, have you tried some probiotics? Sometimes good bacteria helps.
Yeah, I have. It's so hard to get rid of. Like, yeah, I've tried that. I've tried like really everything, but the only thing that works are these pills, and I just finally got them to like, I got my asthma doctor, my pulmonologist, to agree to give me these, but I feel like I'm just talking about my medical problems. I got my doctor to like give them to me because I'm like, I cannot stop drinking vinegar and it's really annoying. I can't burp. If you go a long time without burping and you like need to burp, it gets hard to breathe. It sucks.
I can only imagine.
I like at work, I have a thermos. It looks like it's coffee. It's vinegar. It's vinegar and water. Yeah? Yeah.
What kind of vinegar? Like apple cider vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, it's the only way. Like, apparently, I wonder if my grandpa had this because I found that out from my grandma. I like told her, I was like, I can't breathe very well. Like, I'm getting lightheaded when I'm walking around. I feel like I need a burp. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, that happened to your granddad. Just drink some vinegar. And I did, and it worked. And I was like, oh my God. And so I just have to have, I literally have vinegar with me right now. You want to see my vinegar?
Sure, why not? See your vinegar? I like how you throw the deep R on there.
This is my vinegar, apple cider vinegar with water, and yeah.
So you drink that whenever you feel like something's stuck in here?
Yeah, I guess it's just a feeling of needing to burp, but it lasts a really long time, and it's like,
I bet you that's like, you have the perfect excuse to like never give head. Like, no, I can't. I can't give head. Like, I can't give head. I have this medical condition.
I'm very fragile in here.
And then the guy's just like, oh.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah. Right.
How hard is it to maintain a relationship? Beaches is very important to guys.
I mean, being a comedian, it's already kind of impossible. So like, oh no. Like, we're literally all just like going on stage listing off all our red flags, and then you really expect a relationship.
Yeah, I knew about all his red flags before you went on stage.
Well, not all of them, for the most part. Yeah, some of them she learned brand new. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I'm joking.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna be like, I don't know if I ever want to like settle down, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No? Why was that one guy you were dating?
We're not dating anymore.
Alright.
No, I mean,
sorry,
like,
dude.
No, I don't know. I gave up on like all of like my stuff so that I could like, you know, be a good girlfriend. And I mean, I was a pretty good girlfriend. But like, I kind of like quit doing comedy, and it wasn't necessarily because of that. It was another medical problem, but like, it was that too. Like, that became like the most important thing in my life. Before it had always been comedy, and even when I like got into a relationship with him, like we were in a relationship for 3 years. When I first got in a relationship with him, you were in a relationship
for 3 years with him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like long distance at first, kind of, and then
that's how it worked out
we moved in together, like, sorta, yeah. We moved in together, and then it went pretty bad. I don't know, like, I really like being single and, like, not having to constantly worry about how somebody else is doing, like, all the time, and, like, not having to, like, keep checking my phone and, like, making sure I'm, like, texting back and, like, I don't know.
I saw that hat shake.
No, I had a conversation with her one time. We were talking about relationships. And I was telling her how, like, why I was so against relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, cause when you're in a relationship, you think if you're good, if you want to be as good as you can, you always have to consider how your actions are going to affect the person you're with.
Exactly.
Because everything you do affects them.
Yeah.
Whether it's deciding when to eat, what to do during the day, it's going to affect them in one way. And if you're a good boyfriend and girlfriend, you'll consider the options, consider what could happen, and then try to do one that's not going to be a negative reaction, you know. And, like, it's hard. It's hard. And, like, some people don't do it, but then again, they end up not being that happy in the relationship because one person's always feel like they're being neglected, or one person feels like they're always the one doing all the work for the relationship, and it doesn't end up working out too well. So
I think I'm just always gonna be. Hopefully, I'm just gonna keep doing comedy, and like, I think that's always gonna be the number one thing in my life, honestly. And so, if I do ever, like, settle down with somebody, they're gonna have to understand that. Like, I almost think it would have to be another comic, but then that's a whole other thing. Like, you know, you gotta pick somebody who goes up there and lists off all their red flags on stage. Like, I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I wouldn't date me. Like, it's like, I don't know.
Why would I date you? 3 months out of the year, I'm in the hospital with you.
It's like, I don't know. I was also feeling guilty. I started going to Mike's again, and I started, like, feeling guilty for neglecting him, sort of. And, like, I was like, this, and then I was, like, kind of going, like, who am I at this point? Like, I remember who I was, like, 3 years ago. I was, like, totally different, and that's how I had always been. Like, I've always really liked being single. Never really wanted a relationship. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, so much work to be a girlfriend. Like, I don't know. It's, like, it's exhausting. And, like,
and honestly,
I want to be selfish right now, honestly. I want to be selfish and do comedy. And, like, I forgot what I was going to say. What?
I'll say the same thing I've told him every single time.
What?
You just gotta talk it out.
There's no time. I gotta go to this mic. Like, I'm sorry.
There's
no
no
time. I'm thinking about something else. I have to finish writing this.
You shouldn't feel guilty for doing something for yourself. You never should.
Yeah, but like,
but she was.
It's just hard to find somebody who
doesn't make you feel guilty for it. Or
it didn't really make me feel. I mean, I don't know.
Does this smoke bother you too? No? Okay, so is it okay if I start? Hey,
help yourself. I love the smell of CBD. It's great.
Okay.
I miss it. I used to partake. I can no longer. I am concerned about work.
Oh, okay. That's right. Concerned about work. That's right. You did say that because you have the best job.
Anymore. Honestly, it's okay. So I work at this hardware store, you know, and like something about like I was trying to go on disability after I got out of college because I could. I'm trying to make this not a long story.
No,
when I was
we got a couple hours, 2 hours, man. Do as long as you want.
When I was like I was a super senior in college at UNT.
You were a super senior?
A super senior.
What's a super senior?
It's when you go for another year because everybody in the RTVF department is like, you have to get the most out of this you possibly can. Go another year. And you're like, okay.
What did you go to college for?
RTVF, radio, television, film. I worked in radio a little bit. I worked at the radio station at my old college at Tarleton, and then I went to UNT, and I worked at KNTU. Mm-hmm. Yeah, KNTU. Got it right. Okay. And I don't know.
So you have radio... You have radio
yeah,
experience.
like that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I wanted to do comedy, honestly, at that point.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do comedy, like, and I want to be a writer, like, for, I don't know, for, like, a show, like a, I don't know.
You want to be
like a comedy, like, Netflix show or something. Like, I've always kind of wanted to do that. I've always, like, wondered, like, what it's like to be in that room, and, like, writing with people in college was really fun, and I just remember my writing classes. I loved. I would like get an adrenaline rush every time we get an assignment. We like never got assignments. We had like 4 assignments, and I was like, oh my god! I like get so excited about assignments, and I don't know. I just I do want to do that still, and comedy can help you like get like writing jobs and stuff. And I feel like I do think I'm good at that. I think I'm good at like working with a group of people to write something that has like I don't want to write for like I wouldn't want to write for a like a late night show or anything, but because I'm not really good at jokes like that. But, like a story, like I can like I think I could do that. Yeah. I don't know, but like yeah, I didn't take advantage of any opportunities I was given at UNT in the RTVF department, which there's so many. Like, so many people do, and I'm, like, really jealous of them, but it's just because I was, like, injured. And, like, my back injury, my doctor was like, you know, you can't be sitting down in class all day. You gotta alternate between sitting and standing. That's my only advice to you. And I would do that. And I would do this thing, like, at the beginning of the semester, I'd be like, I'd talk to the professor alone before, like, classes started. I'd meet with all my professors and be like, hey, I have this back injury. I can't sit for very long. I have to alternate between sitting and standing. So can I, like, sit sort of toward the back so I'm not, like, you know, distracting people and being weird, but also can we do this thing where on the first day of class I tell you this all again in front of everybody so that they're not like, what the fuck is she doing? Like,
so like, yeah, so they don't think you're just some random weirdo just like having some kind of problem?
Yeah, like honestly, okay, when I go to like movies, like, I don't like going to see movies in theaters anymore because I always, if I sit down I get hurt because I have an issue with my like cervical spine or whatever, where I get these headaches that come completely from my neck, like, and they feel almost like migraines, and the only way to get rid of them is to go for a walk. I don't know. Yeah. So like I always get hurt at the movies. If my head's like slightly tilted up or down or like to the side, just even barely for more than 1 minute. Yeah. More than 1 minute. Like if I'm like this, it's slightly turning that way, I'm gonna get a headache and it's gonna last a long time unless I go for a long walk. It's weird. That sucks. Dude, it does. And so I don't know, like
people must always think you're like on coke or something. Like what is wrong?
Right? I know, probably because I'm constantly yeah. Like, I'm always, like, when I'm talking to people at mics, like, they're like, do you need to sit down? Do you want to sit in that chair that you're, like, leaning over? And I'm like, no, like, this is more comfortable. Like, if I'm standing and kind of leaning against a chair and, like, putting my leg up specifically, like, putting my leg up, it feels so good. It relieves so much pressure off my back. Like, I don't know, when I'm leaning against something and I'm talking to somebody, I tend to move around a little bit more than if I'm, like, sitting.
Do that again. That looked hilarious. Wait, now you guys just start, like, You're so
Where's the camera that I can look into where my eyeballs are?
This one. Just, like, randomly just sitting there, like...
This is what I do when I'm having a conversation with somebody and I start to hurt a little bit.
I don't know what to do. My comedy's not going so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but in movie theaters, so what I do when like my family like drags me to a movie, like we always go to movies at Christmas time, and, like they all sit together, and then I go to the back of the movie theater and I sit like on the very like end.
Yeah.
And I just stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down the whole time, and it's like, it just kind of takes me out of the movie for one thing. Like, I'll get hurt if I'm too into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm too into a conversation, I'm like sitting still and I'm like not really, like I'm trying to move around right now, and it's, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I'm just really glad that I'm like a harmless looking little girl, because if there's like a man doing that in the corner of a movie theater, you're like, ooh, you know, people be freaking out a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's fine. But in college, so I still like felt awkward about doing that. And I also, whenever I was focused, I'm like not thinking about the pain I'm in. Like that's the thing. Like, I guess I have like a high pain tolerance or whatever, or I'm just really good at ignoring it because I grew up ignoring it and sort of was taught through like sports and stuff to ignore it, and like it was noble to push through pain or whatever. Yeah. And that's perseverance. That's perseverance, is when you push through an injury and to the point of where you ruin the rest of your life a little bit. Like imagine like if I wanted to be like some kind of like athlete, like that would suck. I wanted to be a stunt double for so long. Like that's what I wanted to do. Yes.
That sounds cool.
I wanted to do that so bad, but like that's kind of dumb because you get hurt and then you're like, well, that's the only thing I know how to do is to like do this stuff that I can't do anymore. So it's not a good idea. But I don't know. I like
stunt double.
It's probably good I got injured.
I don't think I've ever heard a girl say she's never wanted to be a stunt double.
Oh, that's like what I wanted to do from childhood. Like I also did want to be a writer though. Like I would like watch like commercials and stuff, and I'd be like, I'd watch like commercials that had like errors in them, and I'd go like, do they think we don't notice that? Like, did that pass through a bunch of people and they missed it, or did they just like run out of time and they're like, they won't notice? And then I go to college for that stuff and I'm like, they do run out of time and think they won't notice. That's what that is. They're like, we have a time limit, we have a budget, we just gotta put this out there. Just put it out there, it's fine.
It's fine.
But there's stuff like that, like it's like they know, they're just like, it's gotta go out. So yeah.
So every student ever in the last 5 minutes of an exam.
In a way, yeah.
They won't notice. Yeah.
They don't notice.
I don't know. No, I wanted to be a stunt double though, like so bad.
That's.
I like to perform.
It's crazy.
Because I like to perform, but I didn't want to be like famous or anything.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do like the only thing, like fun stuff. Like I still every time I get drunk, like my true self comes out, you know, and I want to do a backflip. And now I'm realizing that I need to do it, and I'm going to at some point. And I gotta get somebody to film it just to have, you know, like me doing a backflip off of something. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. That's why I fell on my face, is because I couldn't get air. I'm not as strong as I was. Mm-hmm. But like I still know how to do that stuff. So if I do a backflip like off the back of my truck or something, maybe.
Yeah, something gives you a little more space to do the turn.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Coming soon to Instagram.
Sydney Carson backflips part 2. Drunk Sydney Adventures. You're like the female version of Jackass, guys.
I'm so jealous of them. Like some of the stuff that they did. Fuck, that's like so fun.
I bet you.
I wish I was indestructible so bad.
I feel like you would have loved to be the one where you're in the rocket and you get shot up in the air. Yeah. You would have done that like quick, huh?
You don't understand. Yeah. Like I'm like so sad, but like that part of my life is like kind of over. Like cheerleading stunts. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna like, I don't know. I want to like make enough money doing comedy to like start working part-time at my job, and then maybe I'll have some free time to take better care of my injuries and because what I can do, I still need to build more muscle to support like my injuries and stuff, and I really need more muscle in my legs. Mm-hmm. Just when I have more muscle, I'm in less pain. Yeah. And because it like supports everything, and like.
Do you ever do any yoga?
Why? Can I cuss on here? Is it going on YouTube?
I'm fucking smoking CBD.
Okay. Yeah, CBD.
I mean, even YouTube. I mean, there's all kind of shit on there.
What yoga? So like yoga. I was in a yoga class. Like after I like kind of admitted I was hurt, but I was like, I'm not going to the doctor. And it was after my freshman year of college in cheerleading. I like got stuck. I bent over to pick something up, and then I just like got stuck on the way up, and I was like, oh man, this is happening. I just gotta wait until I get unstuck. And sometimes it takes like hours. I literally like could not stand up straight. I just like got stuck. And like I was like, this happened last year. Like, what did I? Oh yeah, I just kind of walked around like that. But I was home. But I was at cheerleading practice when it happened. And I was like, oh, I'm stuck. I'm just stuck.
At school?
And my coach. It was a cheerleading practice in college, and my coach was like, oh, like she didn't know what to do. And like she's like, okay, just go like sit down. And I was like, that's making it worse. And like I just kind of like stood there hunched over. And I was like, I can't fucking stand up. And then this was like a couple of, I think it was like 3 weeks before tryouts for the next year, and I was like, like really bad timing. Like, and so I just had to I went to like the trainer. I didn't go to like a doctor. I just went to like the trainer, and they were like, you just need to like take a break. Like, they didn't tell me like exercise. Didn't tell me like anything to do.
Like, I don't know.
I've always had really bad advice from because what it needs. I needed an MRI at that point. Probably it was already past a certain point. Like, and I was just ignoring it. I don't know when the slip vertebrae happened exactly, but it's possible. I think my doctor said it was like a series of stress fractures I had ignored were the warning signs, and then eventually like the vertebrae like went like that. I don't know, something like that. I've seen the MRI. It's freaky.
Because they're like this, right? They're layered like that, right? You got the bone,
it's like,
and then you got the cushion, which is the.
It looks like that. I don't know.
in a straight line.
Something about L1, L5 vertebrae. I don't remember what my diagnosis was, but yeah.
I have a herniated disc from when I used to work at the hospital.
Yeah, it's kind of similar, isn't it? Because that causes sciatica, right? Down your leg?
Well, what happened is that when you have a herniation, is that you have your discs, like they have a shape, right? And they have that film around the cartilage that keeps it. Well, with a herniation, the film. Well, what happens is the film breaks, and the cartilage inside is kind of like squeezing a thing of toothpaste. Toothpaste. You squish it, and the shit pops out. That's kind of what happens in the herniation. So it pops out, and it pushes up against my left sciatic nerve, my sciatica, and it caused a lot of pain, and it
feels like your leg has a toothache, doesn't it?
Yeah, the whole pain caused my hips to naturally go one direction because it's the only way my body knows how to divert from the pain. So I was walking all crooked.
That'll mess up your back too if you walk crooked or if you limp. Limping is so bad for your back.
It fucked up my right foot because I wasn't walking right on it.
Yeah, it's a chain reaction a lot of times. It sucks.
Yeah, and I did physical therapy because they didn't want to do a surgery on me. I qualified for surgery, but they didn't want to because the guy was all like, if you do surgery, you're never gonna be the same again. Like, once they cut you open, you're never the same.
That's kind of what it was like.
It can get better, but it can get worse. But you're always gonna have some pain. So I try to just exercise it out by lifting weights, stretching a lot.
Yeah, you have to maintain flexibility with anything like that, or it'll get worse. It can get so stiff.
You know what also helps? CBD topical cream.
That's what all the old people at work tell me. They're like, have you tried the CBD oil, Sydney?
CBD? The CBD?
Yeah, they're really into it. Yeah, my thing with pain relievers, like, sometimes I do have inflammation, and it's okay for me to take ibuprofen every once in a while. I take it more than I should.
Don't take ibuprofen.
I know.
Do you know who Ron Patrick is? Dr. Ron Patrick?
That's like what one of that comedian who's like really into that stuff is always like talking about her. Then like Joe Rogan does too, right? I'm not talking about Joe Rogan. That's not the person who's talking to me about my esophageal infection.
You're Rogan?
It's somebody else. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And you know, the ibuprofen, for one, it's not good for your stomach lining.
It's not good for your stomach lining. It's not good for your kidneys.
No. And yeah, but like
your liver too.
I don't know. It's like if you take anything with acetaminophen.
Oh, I don't take acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen, no.
Isn't that
useless?
Ibuprofen? I mean, no. Acetaminophen. There's a combination of acetaminophen and ibuprofen. It's Tylenol and ibuprofen. It's like whatever it is. And I never take Tylenol because like when I think of Tylenol, it's just a pain reliever. There's nothing. It's like it doesn't do anything. So like the thing about ibuprofen and naproxen and aspirin. Naproxen is like a leave. Like they're like all the same thing. They're all blood thinners and they're all anti-inflammatories. They're like not good for you really, but they do at least cut down on inflammation. So like if that's a concern, it at least does something. But like Tylenol is acetaminophen, and that does nothing. It's just a pain reliever. That's it. Oh, I think it can like reduce your fever and stuff, but I don't know. Like the thing about ibuprofen is like every once in a while I do kind of need to take it. I need an anti-inflammatory. I mean I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet and I don't have that much inflammation, but occasionally I'll sleep in the wrong position or whatever, and I'll need it. But like I have been taking more than I should lately. I haven't been taking as good care of myself with my physical therapy exercises as I should.
You know what? I have some CBD cream. Do you want to try it to see if it helps your back at all today?
I mean, sure, but like that's my whole thing. Okay, my whole thing about painkillers, any kind of painkiller in general, is that if it works, I end up hurting myself whenever I'm on it because I get overconfident. And what I have to do now, this sucks so bad, but like my muscle relaxers and ibuprofen, like when I'm on that stuff, I'm not careful. Because like what I have to do now, how I have to live now, since the injury and everything, is I have to do whatever my pain tells me to do. So I have to shift. I have to, make sure I'm not looking in this direction. I can't get too focused on something like it sucked in college, like writing papers and stuff, because I get focused and I would ignore the pain, and then it's like now I'm not really doing anything like that. Like at work, I have to move constantly. I have to for that job. It's just how the job is. So I'm moving constantly anyway, so I'm not having to constantly go like, what is my pain telling me to do right now? Am I in pain right now? That's why I have to work at that job, because it's perfect. I have a thing that I can put my leg up on. I have a shelf that I put my leg up on, and it relieves so much pressure off my back. I'm walking kind of constantly, but I'm at a computer. When I'm on that computer, I'm like, unless I'm stuck on a phone call where I'm kind of like trying to hold it, I'm not getting hurt because I'm like looking at the computer and looking at other things, and like I'm helping customers. I'm just like constantly like doing like this, at least when I'm at the desk. So there's no time where I'm gonna get hurt by staying still. And there's no, like when I was at the radio station, it sucked because like I would be in the same position, and then like I would get to I'd start playing music, and then I'd like get out of the chair and like lay down on the ground, start doing my physical therapy exercises, and make sure I had like, and like just keep an eye on the time. Then I gotta get back and like get on and like whatever. But like it, like I don't know, when I can't do that job because it's still too sedentary. Yeah. Like I just can't. It sucks. It's like that's kind of what I went to college for, but I can't do that. Like I don't know. Like this job, it's like going to physical therapy and getting paid. Kinda. It's sometimes I kind of hurt myself being on my feet for that long, and but it's not nearly as bad as college. Like college hurt me so bad. As it could be. My super senior year of college, I was like struggling to walk. Like I got to where I wasn't independent anymore. I was like relying on other people to do things for me. Like I couldn't go to the grocery store. I couldn't like I would go to class and then I would come home, and I was just like I wouldn't make connections that I needed to in college. I didn't, like that sucked. Like that's something that college is so it sucks, but it's like hard to get a job out of college unless you've made connections. Like yeah, the degree kind of matters, but like honestly, like networking matters a lot, no matter what your major is, really. Like, and I didn't do any of that. Like I did not make friends in college because at first I was going to my actual physical therapy like every day, and then after that I would like I started doing stand-up, and so I was like focusing on that. I was like not wanting to hang out with anybody in my classes. And then when I got hurt, it was like I gotta go home as soon as possible. I was like at a point where I was driving by like I had to pick my leg up and put it down. Like I couldn't even like do that
to put on the pedals.
Yeah, it was bad. And so and then like I would just have to, like, I could walk just a few yards at one point, and then, like, maybe 10 yards, and then I would have to stop for, like, 5 minutes and wait before I could walk any further. Like, it wasn't, no. That's what's weird about it, is, like, I don't know how much pain I was really in because I was on so many pills at that time, but when I let myself get to that point, by taking pills and, like, covering up the pain and not being aware of the pain and not doing the things I need to do to stop whatever from getting worse, I get this weakness that comes out of nowhere, and that's what was, like, terrifying. Like, I don't know if I hadn't been on ibuprofen at that time, maybe my legs would have been hurting. My back was still hurting, like, even with all the pills.
Weakness, like, as in fatigue?
Extreme weakness, like, my legs just weren't cooperate. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like my upper body was, like, super, super heavy. Like, I'd be walking, I'd be okay for, like, a second, and then it's like just more and more weight was added, and I felt like I was about to collapse. And so I would have to stop, and it was weird. Like, the first time I felt like that, I was, like, at the grocery store, and I was walking, and my, like, I don't remember which leg it was, but it was, like, right behind my knee. I felt a pop. It's like I had been feeling like weight was added, and then I felt a pop, because, like, of course I was ignoring pain, because that's what I do. And, like, I felt a pop, and I was like, okay, let's start paying attention to this, maybe. And, like, that was after, like, the diagnosis and everything. I don't know, I just started taking all the muscle relaxers I was being given, and all the ibuprofen, like, way too much ibuprofen, and just trying to, I didn't know that I had to be constantly moving. Like, I didn't know. Like, the doctor didn't know that I needed to be constantly moving for this injury. Like,
so what was the pop?
I don't know. Right? Okay, so I didn't go to the doctor after that happened. I should have. I didn't go to the doctor for, like, until the school year ended, so it was, like, 2 semesters later. I don't know. And, like, I thought it was, like, a vein. It kind of felt like that.
Vein? Why would a vein pop?
Not a vein, what do we call it? Blood vessel.
Blood vessel, like you pop the blood vessel?
Yeah. It kind of felt, because sometimes those, like, hurt, and sometimes they don't. I don't know. It kind of felt like that.
I've popped them in my hands before, but never really popped them on my body that I'm aware of.
I don't know. It happens to old people a lot. You see.
It wasn't like a popping like your.
It was
like maybe your bone was rubbing wrong.
Feeling because cartilage. It was where there's not a bone, or where it felt like it was where there was not a bone. I was like, so then I don't know. I don't really know what it was.
Do you think you maybe like tore like your ACL or?
No, I didn't have any of the symptoms of like I googled the shit out of this, but I would not go to the doctor. I just like couldn't figure out what it was. But I was like in denial about it. I was like, oh, it's. Well, okay, it felt exactly like, after that happened, it felt like it happened to my other leg or something, and it felt like I had carpal tunnel, but in my legs, and Google told me that was tarsal tunnel, and it's like carpal tunnel in your legs.
You're like the WebMD.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're like the WebMD person that people make fun of all the time.
Right, I know, right?
just Googling everything.
Right?
I'm a doctor now.
I don't know why I wouldn't go to the doctor.
You're
but
stubborn.
I don't know. Like, I did eventually go to the doctor after it got better, and I told him everything. And he was like, "It might have been tarsal tunnel, but there's no way we can test for that now that you're better." Because I didn't go until I was better. But he was like, "There does seem to have been a change that I have." They were like, "It's like you have neuropathy now," and he was like, "You probably just have neuropathy." Like, that's what that was that whole time. But I don't think that's what it was. Like, when I don't know. I don't know anything, but, like, yeah, according to Google, it seems like it was neuropathy and tarsal tunnel. Because neuropathy, that stuff, yeah, that's, like, kind of left over. I've never been the same since then. Like, my legs I've had issues with them ever since then, but not the main issue, which seemed to have been tarsal tunnel, which is something that I've gotten over since. I don't know. I don't know.
Excuse me, I need to do one thing real quick. Will help you out. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Would it be okay if I run to the restroom real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel bad. Okay.
While you run to the restroom, okay, I must take one quick second, go to my room. Sorry about that. And then fine. It's what I got title for. And I will be right back, guys. And sorry, we have to go take a little break. But I'm not
Wait,
stop
are we?
What's up, D? How you doing, man? Not bad. What you up to? Just got out of work, boy. Work, boy. I am back. Sorry about that. Wow, like Sydney, I would have never known any of this about Sydney because you guys don't know this, but like when we're at the mics, she's so quiet and like she's very soft spoken. So like even when I do have a conversation with Sydney, I can barely hear her. But like I would have never known any of this if I wanted to sit down with her. Cause she's so freaking quiet. And like that's true though. I can see why now like she wouldn't stick around after her mics. She would just take off. Cause like if you have that much pain, you don't want to just sit around talking to a bunch of comics about stupid shit. And half the time they go outside to smoke cigarettes, and you know she's got that whole yeasty thing going on. But like I can totally see why she would just take off. Oh, I made this too tight.
You try to keep up a conversation with yourself?
A little bit. And then, yeah, but like she joined me on a show last night for the John Clay Wolf show, Christmas party. And it was a lot of fun. But it was hard to get their attention. And the audio, the mic was not like the best. And like you spoke loud and it had like no equalizer, and if you spoke a little bit loud or got too close to it, everything sounded really loud. And then it was like hurting your ears almost loud. And you don't ever want to do that to the audience and have them be like, this guy's talking too loud and sound like shit. Were you asleep? Yeah, you. It sounded like you were.
My back was hurting.
Your back was hurting while she's having a whole podcast about her back being injured?
Yeah.
What's up, Bill? What's up, boy?
Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, stain booty. You know what to do. Pluto. Out.
She does have the perfect job for her though, like where she needs to keep moving. That area, I almost said it. I almost said where she works. That job is like a lot of movement and whatnot. So, interesting. You know, if you learn a lot from a person by sitting down and talking to them, and if they don't like blow their load on you real quick and then head out the door, but and actually sit down and have a conversation, and you know. She didn't get upset when I brought up, you know, that's the best excuse to not give a BJ. Because it's kind of funny. And she's like, yeah, actually it is. No? Maybe a little bit? Am I all alone on that one? Whatever. Fuck you guys. Lana, you gotta help me out, man.
I know. I need help.
Yeah. You haven't been on social media yet, have you?
What do you mean? Oh, I haven't posted anything.
I just had an incident this morning with my first guest.
Oh, really?
A little bit. They put it on Facebook, and I'm not gonna acknowledge anything on Facebook, like comments or anything like that, because I think it's better to just ignore that. There's no point in arguing with somebody. Especially people I don't know through things, but like Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to look later on, but like...
Yeah, I'll look later. Okay.
Honestly, I mean, you've been sitting here with me for a little while now. I'm getting to know you a little better. I make jokes, but when I'm friends with somebody and I get to know them better, and especially if they know me as a person, where I make a lot of dumb guy humor jokes. I'm a guy. I'm simple.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been the smartest person. I've never been the type to like read a bunch of books and, you know, expand my vernacular by whoever what. But like, for the most part, I as a person, like I'm caring and I'm open to hearing to interpretations on different things, and also, like, if a person ever needs something and I can help them out, I'll do my best to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a side of me where, like, I'm a smart ass, dumbass type of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to be mean. But like, there's like I was telling Alana earlier, like she's like you can be a really sweet guy. Like you're a really sweet guy. Like, but you can also kind of be an asshole. And I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I know I can for little things, and it's not like asshole to where like I can't believe why am I with this, why do I hang out with this person at all? It's just little asshole things every once in a while. But it's like I have to have some kind of little assholeness, because if I was just sweet and nice, I'd go insane in there. I'd probably end up fucking killing somebody. Because if you're too nice and too sweet and all the time, and that's just what you are, it's eventually gonna, it's just, so, but like, I wasn't trying to be an asshole though. That's the thing. I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I was just doing like it's a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
So I'll throw jokes when I see them. And one thing was said was, she had gone camping with her boyfriend and her dog. And I was like, oh, and I just made this joke like, oh wow, because to me, camping with a person, like, you know what you gotta do. You're gonna go hiking, and you're gonna get in nighttime, get in the mood. Like, hey, we're in the woods, we're gonna do our thing. Or if you're me and Alana, try to do it in the daytime. And but like the joke that I said was like, Jesus Christ, you made the dog watch?
Yeah, well, the dog was probably close by.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, the dog's there. Like, well, you make the dog watch, and I think I said, geez, we go from something to bestiality, and like, I guess she didn't like that I said that, but like, she just like commented later on when we started getting to a different issue, and she's like, and then you start talking about blah blah. I'm like, I was just joking around, and then it's like, I was kidding, you know that, right? Like, so anyways, but she ended up walking out through like maybe like 25, maybe 30 minutes into the podcast.
Shit. Yeah, I have not been on the internet, I don't think, or not. I don't scroll. But I just get on Facebook, see the first thing, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. Like, I never been one to like, and I see the way people post stuff on Facebook and whatnot, and it's just like I've never been one to just like put stuff like that on there. My Facebook right now is strictly comedy.
No. I need to make mine like that. I'm not posting
my
anything.
Facebook. It's strictly comedy. I don't put anything personal. Because for one, people don't want to hear it. Two, I don't want people to sit there and be like, oh, he's going to die. Good for him or something like that. Like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But like, what people put on Facebook has changed a lot from what it used to be. Like, it used to be simple stuff, like, hey, we're gonna go hang out, blah blah, I'm doing this, and now it's just like, oh, I have these whole paragraphs of how people are deep thought and feeling, and they want people
like they want people to share it. They want to make something shareable.
Yeah, it's like, share this and
like,
tell everybody how I'm feeling, and share to your friends who don't even know me and I don't know them, but they need to see this too. And but like, there's but here's the thing, like, she put her thing on her Facebook, tagging me about what happened, like a quick short version, and then like all these people like that don't know what happened. They don't know me as a person. Just start like saying all these other things like, there's just like, and I'm just like,
this is why I don't scroll.
I was just like, these people don't know anything. Like some guy was like, yeah, I always thought he.
And now
was...
they know everything about you. That's what they think.
It's like yeah, they think they know me as like, it's like let's just say like, oh, I know that type of person, so now I know all of them. Mm-hmm. But one guy said like, I never thought he was funny, but now he's a bit of a joke. But now I think he's a joke, or the joke's on him, something like that. Something like that. And I was like, who the hell is this guy that's acting like he's known me for like years? Like, I don't know who you are.
Wow.
But like, I'm not gonna comment on any of it. It's no point. I don't feel like it's healthy to comment on those people or try to defend myself or whatever. I'm just, that's fucking. You didn't bring it with you? No. You're so bad. Sorry. I just don't think it's healthy to address people like that, and it's also pointless because they're not going to change their narrative on anything. Like,
I mean, I don't. Did the person like talk to you like one-on-one first at all, like, or off the record, any like off this or off the internet at
me.
first? Really?
They text me. Not at first.
Like,
they put that post and then they text me. Oh. And then they're like, well, it kind of seems like you're two different people because like when we're doing the mics or whatever, I was like, she said I was that I wasn't giving not narrative, but like I wasn't giving like, will you have admiration for people or like you validation. I wasn't validating female actors. She said I wasn't validating, that I wasn't able to validate female actors as people or something like that. And through the text, she was saying like, oh, you're like a completely different person than one-on-one when we're talking. And I was like, well, yeah, when we're one-on-one talking and you're venting to me about something, I'm gonna sit there and listen. I need to portray that I am paying attention to what you're saying, and that it's a serious situation. But I'm still that inner inside of me is where I make jokes when I'm in an uncomfortable situation, but it's not like big old jokes. It's just like little smirky things just to make me.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, I just always assume the best, just in case it, like give people the benefit of the doubt. If somebody does make some joke that is like whatever, it could be taken a different way, just take it the best way. Like, I don't know. That's what this whole stuff. I mean, obviously I don't know what happened exactly. I didn't. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna like post it or?
I mean, I'm still gonna put up the episode because.
Like I don't know who it was or the situation either side.
It's just weird. It just blew up out of nowhere. Like it went from one thing to that, and I was just like, well, I guess. Like, okay, one comment that she made, and she said I was a bad, lazy MC for saying this, but like she did her set at Plano Hyenas, and I was the host for that. And when she got off, she said something. Her bit had something to do with like her dating life or the type of woman she was. And when she got off, I was like, that's the kind of woman I'd like to date. And I guess she had an issue with that. But Lana brought this up to my attention. She's like, well, if she always had the issue with you, I spent like 40 minutes outside of her at Plano that night just talking about some. I don't want to. She was venting to me, but I don't want to talk about what it was about because it's not up to me to put that out there. But she was venting to me, and I was listening to her, and I was just telling her like a little bit of my point of view things, and I'm pretty much telling her not to like let the certain people in the world of what we do, comedy, keep you from wanting to try to do your best. Any kind of aversion. Yeah. But like I didn't know that whole time we're talking, she was already having these thoughts about how she didn't like the way I said that, but she brought that up during the podcast when she was getting mad at me. She's like, well, and then again, you did that to me at the mic, and I already kind of knew. And I was like, why didn't you tell me nothing? Yeah, to me, I was like, why didn't you tell me something right then and there? Like, say, hey, that would, like, pull me aside and talk to me. And then maybe I would have been able to, like, defend myself as far as, like, saying, hey, well, you know, I like that fact that you said your bit. And that's why I said that. And I wasn't trying to say, like, oh, you know, that's the kind of girl I like to go out and fuck or something real vulgar like that. Mm-hmm. And I was even saying, I was like, date. Like, isn't dating a good thing? Doesn't a woman be like, hey, yeah, I'm very dateable? Like, or want guys to be like, yeah, you're very dateable. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's what women want, but I don't see it as a negative thing either.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot, like, I don't want to say, like, I don't know. I've heard...
Well, you being in it for
no matter what I hear...
years.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I have heard, like, a lot of stuff, like, said sometimes when I get off stage. And I'm like, oh, somebody just put their foot in their mouth. It's fine. Like, okay. It was an accident, or maybe it wasn't. Or they'll say something... People said stuff that's, like, for real creepy. Mm-hmm. And, like... Those people aren't even around anymore. Like, they don't really...
Yeah, they don't last. They just don't...
And they don't really... I don't know. Some people...
Hey, that reminds me. Why was it that guy that tried to, like, give you money?
Wait, what? Oh!
What was that all about? Do you remember that? What was that all about?
Ooh, okay.
Also, a little side note. This is the first time I've ever seen your ears. Like, because you always have your hair down. You always kind of... So, like, when the first time you pulled your hair back, I was like, holy shit, she does have ears.
I do have ears.
Anyway, that's just a side note.
I have a 666 behind this ear.
Do you really?
She's fucking...
I don't know, man. Sydney's kind of crazy now that I've been talking to her for a little while.
I just did that, though. No, I do.
Let me see it.
Like, I just did this, like...
Oh, my goodness. You even got the tiny little
There's
words.
a reason, but...
Yeah, you're evil.
We'll put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
Okay,
No, we put a pin in it.
Okay.
What are we talking about? That guy.
That guy.
Oh, okay. So this guy... This is at Fort Worth, Hyenas. Mm-hmm. This happened 2 weeks in a row, 2 Thursdays in a row. This was a while ago. When was it? This was before I quit comedy that last time.
Just the water, please.
Do
you want a water? Are you good? So.
Yeah.
2 water, please.
Thank you. Yeah. So this older man, 60s maybe. He was just at the mic watching. Not a comic or anything, at Fort Worth, and he came up to me, I don't think he came up to me. He came up to Tony after I left. He said something to me. I don't remember what he said to me. Mm-hmm. He had said something to me, and then like I left, and then Tony told me later that this guy like came up to him and was like, oh, that's right. He just like kept standing by me or something and like talking, and I don't know, this guy. But then, so Tony told me later that this guy, after I left, said like, where's the, which first of all, that doesn't look like me. I wish, like, like the girl, the like.
Is that what he was trying to say for like a female? Like.
I thought he was trying. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Where's the?
Yeah,
I would have been like,
I'd love to have those, but
Spider with Black Widow.
Right?
What are you talking about?
He was like doing like an hourglass, like a lady or whatever, like girl. Yeah, and then he like told him a fake name. He was like, "Oh, what's her name? What's this girl's name?" And he like gave him a fake name. I think that's what. Yeah, this is a while ago. I'm sorry if this is wrong. Tony gave him a fake name.
Yeah.
He like messaged me about it later. And he's like, "Yeah, this guy was like being real creepy about you and like asking about you," and then I come back the next week and the guy's there again and he like hands me a 50 and I'm like it was just really like weird and I was like no thanks. I was trying to give it back, but he like kept like shoving it at me and then I was like okay. And then like he said, I don't know if he even said anything at that. He said something that I like really liked my comedy or just wanted to support or something. And then he was just being so creepy. And then like a bunch of these guys, I don't remember who all was there. It was definitely, like, I don't know if you were one of them that was there, like, when it happened. Did you see it happen?
No, I didn't.
You heard about it through...
I heard about it
yeah.
when you had already left. I was there that night, but somebody
I was
said...
like, I'm gonna just get out of here. Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
But, like, I remember, like, Jamie Gravy was there, and,
It's one of the only times I saw Jamie Gravy
They
there.
made, like, it was before he left, I think, I think it was right before he moved, maybe. Him and some other tall person, I just remember tall people, like, surrounded me. like a bunch of guys, like, saw it happen and just kind of, like, made a circle kind of around me. And then somebody, like, I think talked to him and, like, walked him out, walked that guy out, that guy and his friend that he was there with. And apparently he, like, talked to the door guy and was, like, had told him, like, that he just wanted to support my comedy or something, but like, what the hell? He was being real creepy, just like trying to like stand really. Oh yeah, he had horrible breath, so he must have been standing real close to me.
Horrible breath.
Because I do remember that. Yeah.
Do you think he had good intentions? He just didn't know how to. He just delivered it wrong, or do you think he was just like?
I mean, it was really creepy. That's $50 bill. Is that like some kind of like? I don't know. I don't know.
No, you gotta be
Heard
careful.
some shit at work that makes me like. Somebody said something about me. This guy who kind of comes in a lot. He said something about a customer. He like said something about. I overheard him talking about me and this other girl who worked in like another department, saying like those girls shouldn't be working here when they could be making money being sugar babies or whatever. They should be doing that instead. I know, right? And I was just like, like, I kind of started like laughing because I was like, it was like the most bizarre thing that I like ever really heard, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, so
I thought he was gonna say something else, like, no, she should be like strip beat or something. I was like, wait.
This is like an older man, so it's like, you know, I don't know what happens. So maybe like, you know, no, like, you know, if you're a sugar baby, like. You do you, like, I mean, probably make a lot of money, but, like, it's just, like, creepy to have some, like, 60-year-old man be like that. Like, this one 60-year-old man, 60-something, because I had to check his ID for something. He, like, came up to me and asked me, he goes, he's like, what are you, like, 15, 16? And I was like, 15, because, like, and I was, like, 24, 25 or something when this happened. And I was like, 15. He probably just had bad eyesight. But, because I knew he was about to be creepy. Anybody coming up to somebody like that, saying that. Plus, 16-year-olds wouldn't work that job. Whatever. Anyway, he's like, so I was like 15. Then he goes, do you have an Instagram? I was like, no.
Is that where that joke came from, kind of?
No, that was another incident that actually happened. That's not
both
even...
of these actually happened technically.
At work.
Yeah.
So, well, the other thing that happened, that's like an exaggeration. So, my joke about the guy who came to my door. What really happened... was I was leaving work. I wasn't like backing out yet. I was just sitting in my car. I was about to leave. I like just started or whatever, and somebody knocked on my window. This guy. He looked like a manager of like a fast food restaurant. I don't know. You know, like kind of like I don't know. It wasn't like a homeless person or anything with nothing to lose. It was just some
kind of like the way McDonald's, their managers look all spiffy and
it was like a colored shirt that was tucked in, and it was like, yeah. So
like
I was like,
or something.
Yeah, I don't know. He knocked on my window, and so like my first thought is like something's wrong with my truck. I have this old truck, like something. He saw somebody messing with it, something. So he knocked on my window, and like nobody's like done that before. That's weird. And so, like, I cracked the window, and I was like, yeah, and he goes, oh, no, because, like, I guess I said what in a weird way, like, I was like, what, like, hi or something, like, I don't know what I said, because I whatever it was, I was assuming that he was going to tell me something was wrong with my truck, but I looked confused, and he goes, oh, no, just, how old are you? Like, how I deliver that is exactly how he said that. Yeah. It was so weird, like, this weird, like, trying to do, like, the smolder thing with his face. He was... Well, I mean, this guy was probably like 30. Like, it was just such a weird interaction. And, yeah, he was like, oh no, just, how old are you? Like that. And then I didn't say 16. Like, I wish I'd thought that. That's like what I say in the joke. Yeah. But like, I just go, what? And then he goes, oh, sorry. Oh, no, what did he do? He was like, he acted like I was like being weird. Because he said,
he acted like you were being weird?
Yeah. Because I was like, what? And he was like, oh, okay, sorry. Like, or whatever. That's what he said. And then, like, walked away. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know, like, what the fuck that was about.
So he was a younger guy. Well, okay, but what
if... he saw me walking to my car. Remember, I was, like, limping that day. I was having a real bad day, and, like, I don't know if he's, like, into that. I don't fucking know.
I'm into the cripples.
He was, like, on the job, like, I don't know, running by the hardware store. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on with that guy, but that was weird. That's never happened before. Like, that was funny. It was daytime. It was daytime, too, so it wasn't, like, I don't know what that was about. It was so weird. It was so weird. Like, I guess he saw me, and I don't know. Very bizarre.
Here's one thing I would say in, like, guys' point of view perspective. It is very hard for a male through, like, certain ages, between, like, 22 and I'd say, like, maybe 35, to, like, find the proper way to address a person that they, like, see and they're kind of attracted to, and they're like,
yeah,
and I see that the way that guy did was totally wrong. But like,
I was like, oh, I'm ready to hear you try to give his
no,
side.
No,
I was like,
no.
This is getting good.
The way he did it was totally wrong.
I would love to know what was going through his
The way
mind.
he did it was totally wrong.
If you saw his dream girl or whatever, like, limping out of the hardware store to this beat up truck, and he's like, I gotta talk to her. I like the way she limps. Like, oh my god, like, this is my girl. Like, or maybe she can't run very far. Like, I can, like, oh my god, this is great. Like, like, I don't know what he was thinking. What did he want me to answer? Like, what was gonna happen? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
Well, okay, like, but I want to know, like, if a guy were to see you, let's just say, like, that situation.
Yeah.
Is there a way where he can approach you and be like, just like, but the way I would do it, like, just pure honesty. I'd be like, hey, I don't want this to sound weird, but, like, I do think you're very pretty, and
yeah,
I was wondering if you'd like to have dinner sometime.
There
It's like something like in that realm.
There was a comedian, like, who had, like, first of all, let me say, like, if anybody said anything like that to me, no matter what, it's gonna be a no for me. Like, right now, and also, like, I don't know. I've never wanted to date somebody who's, like, just met me, because I'm like, you don't even know why you should like me yet. I haven't given you a reason. You know, I don't know what it is. It's me thinking, like, that's. I don't know what I think of that. Like, people date, people use Tinder, people, like, I don't know. I just end up, like, becoming friends with somebody, and then I start liking them, and that's how it's always been. I've never, like, immediately started liking somebody when I see them, and, like, if that's the case from them to me, like, I can't, like, it's just not gonna happen. I don't know why I'll never, like, maybe in the future, but, like, I've never, like, given anybody like that a chance. I don't know why. It's just because it's like you're hanging out because you want a relationship, and I've never, like, really wanted a relationship. I've been in relationships because I've realized that through being friends, I want to be in a relationship with somebody or whatever. But, like, I don't know. I'm not judging anybody for doing that. Like, people date. Like, we're humans. People want that in their life. I don't really want that.
No, we're totally judging.
But, like, but, like, that's the way to do it. Like, I've had, like, there was a comedian, like, a few years ago who basically said exactly that at a mic. Like, it was, like, the first time, I don't know, I had taken a break for a long time. I came back to do comedy. I did a pretty good set, and, like, I could go, like, okay, I can understand why this person would like me. I had a good set. But I don't know why. I was just like, no, like, and...
Because he was black.
He was, though.
Oh my god,
He was, though, but, like, I had a boyfriend at the time, that too, but even if I hadn't, like, I don't know why, I've never agreed to go on a date because I never want to be in. It was never. When I started dating my ex that I was with for 3 years, I remember going like, this is like so inconvenient right now. I'm 23. Like, I don't want to because I thought we were gonna be together forever. We'd like known each other since we were 11. We like had the same friend group in high school. Like all this stuff. I was like, everything is perfect with this guy. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm gonna be dating this guy that I had a crush on like 8th grade. And like, I don't know. It didn't work out. And it's fine. But like, so I was just thinking like, shit, I found like the person I'm gonna be with. That really sucks that I found that at 23. Like,
so early.
I was like, fuck. Like, I didn't want to do that because what if I get like a wandering eye later when I'm like married? You know, like I want to date a lot of guys and then maybe settle down. That's how I thought back then. Now I don't even like. I don't know if I ever want to like settle down with him. I don't know. Because I like being alone.
Do you have any pets?
No. I can't have responsibilities and be a comedian. Like, I just have to do that. I can't be having kids. Like, I don't like...
I can't have goldfish.
I can't have goldfish. I can't have plants.
Keep fruit.
I can't... No. Nothing... No perishables in my place. We can't do that. What?
That sounds kind of wonderful, though.
I just can't be worrying about other stuff. Like, I spent so much time worrying about somebody else that I was like... I like lost myself for a while and now I'm like back and I'm like, oh, I'm selfish. That's just what I am.
Fucking do it. Be selfish. Nothing
yeah,
wrong
I am
with
being
that.
selfish. Like I am being selfish.
And don't fucking let those people talk you into be like, oh, don't you want a kid or whatever? No.
No, nobody can talk me into that. I used to think that I wanted children. I used to think like I liked kids. Like, okay, it's not that I don't like kids, but like anytime there's like a kid or I feel like I keep having to use hand sanitizer when they're just like their hands are gross. They like always like picking their
yeah, they touch everything.
It's so like I used to babysit like 10 kids at a time up to 10 kids at a time at a gym babysitting service, and like I went in, I was like, I love kids. I wanted it. I was like honestly for the material. I was like, kids do funny shit. Like I'm gonna make fun of them on stage, and then they just made fun of me at work. But
kids.
No, but I used to kind of like do a bit about that where like they'd be like, why is your teeth darker than your skin?
Kids can be brutally honest.
Yeah, they can be, dude. They can be. But that's how I didn't like that stuff. I was like, okay, that's what I did this for. But like, man, like I had to clean diarrhea out of a slide because I was the only one who could fit in that slide to clean it. And like,
no.
Like it's just like I want to be a mom, you know? Fuck. But no, it's honestly not even that. It's that they're annoying. And like, I don't know. I feel like I think I would be a really good mom, but I would be absolutely miserable. Because it would be like a job to me. I like always want to do really, really a good job at whatever. Like I always like people would request like they like were like asking me what days I worked because they wanted me to babysit their kids there, and like they're like wanted me to babysit when I wasn't at work, like just babysit like while they're at home or whatever. And like I just cause like I was just like acting like I lied to the kids. Like I don't know, I feel bad. Like I care about children a lot, and like a lot of things that you'd like see like that you kind of think might be going on at home with them is like really upsetting and disturbing. It's not that I don't care about kids, like I really did, and it was like kind of an emotional job for me, but fucking annoying. And like
there's nothing wrong with
like imagine going, but they're annoying from like when they're born. They start out very annoying. God, like can like being like not sleeping enough and having to deal with that shit, and then like until what age when they're like maybe teenagers and then they want to be left alone. Then it's like okay, like if I do decide to like settle down with somebody who has kids, that would be the only way I could be like a stepmom or something.
I think that,
and they would have to be like at that age where they want to be left alone.
Well,
not that I would never want to interact with them, but that like because I do care about kids and like I'll like talk to kids and stuff and like, but they're annoying. This one fucking kid talked to me for 30 minutes about the Illuminati. He was 9.
About the Illuminati? What do they know about the Illuminati?
Fucking YouTube, dude. Like, we need to stop teaching kids how to read so early. They're, like, Googling stuff. This is not okay.
It's funny, though, like, since when you started talking about kids, like, your level of, like, it's, like, weird, because you, like, turned, like, giddy, but also, like...
I've just thought about this a lot. Oh, no, I just drank a 5-hour.
Oh, that might help, too. I don't know. Did you drink the whole thing?
I drank half of, like, what was left. I drank what was left.
Okay. But that does sound like, to me, like, if you were to get in a relationship, maybe the best way would be if you're somebody who already has kids and who are little, I would say, like...
They would have to be, like, a stay-at-home parent. Because I'm not staying at home.
No, you're not staying at home.
Well, or I am staying at home. If I, if I was doing comedy full time and then I could, like, stay at home during the day, but then it's like, well, I wouldn't be, like, writing and stuff or doing my thing. Like, I don't know what I would be like. I know that I if there's, like, something that needs to be cared for, like, if I had a pet, I would devote too much time to that pet, and I wouldn't be, like, focusing on myself. If I had a kid, I would do the same thing. And if I'm in a relationship with somebody who's, like, I don't know, like that, like, kind of needy or whatever, like, and I've been in that situation before, like, it's like, I devote too much to that, and it makes me, because I feel like a bad person if I don't, or I don't know, there's something that makes me do that, and it's like, that makes me want to stay out of relationships, because I don't know if I was with somebody who was, like, really independent, if I would I, like, turn them into somebody who was dependent by, like, doing too much? I don't know.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Probably.
But that's okay, though.
But, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, not anytime soon do I want... I just want to, like, get somewhere with comedy, you know? I want to at least be working part-time at my job. Because at my job, like, the benefits are so good. Like, you get to keep insurance when you work part-time. Like, that's the goal, honestly, for me, to be doing comedy and still working there. Because, like, I have medicine that's so expensive, and I cannot, like, I just... It's a good, like, health insurance plan that I get through this job. So, like, I have to take Creon for, my pancreas doesn't work.
Your pancreas? Why don't they just...
Whole thing.
Wait, do you need your pancreas?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's pointless to remove it. I mean, if it gets cancer, like, remove that. But that's, like, the most terrifying cancer, the pancreatic cancer, dude. Like, because they don't know until it's too late, usually. But, like, they're keeping an eye on mine, so I'm like, I don't have to worry about that, maybe. Since it's not working. Like, it kind of works. Yeah. But I have to take 10 of these Creon pills a day for my food to, like, work. For, like, to digest food. I can't digest fat without it. Like, more than 7 grams of fat per meal, I cannot eat. Even with it, it's like, I don't know, they explained it to me, like, it sucks. It just, I don't know. I can't, it sucks also because, like, I wish I could do keto, because honestly, when you look at, like, the nutrition of, like, if you look at, like, what's the healthiest thing you could possibly be doing, it's like, if you're gonna get your energy from somewhere, fat or carbs, that type of energy, you know, complex carbs, complex carbs, that food, it doesn't have that much nutrients. The main thing it does is it gives you energy. That's really what it does. Fat gives you energy too, but it has, like, not all fat, but, like, there's so many choices that you have that are packed with nutrients. Avocados, you know, whatever, like, nuts and stuff. Like, choose that over the carbs. Like, I don't know, I can't even test it on myself because I can't break down or digest fat, so I don't really know what it's like, but I've heard that it is actually, you seem to have more energy from carbs and fat. I don't know. A lot of people say the opposite, though, that they do have plenty of energy just eating fat and, like, hardly any carbs. You know, high fat, low carb, and, like, mostly eating vegetables rather than eating fruit. Like, the keto diet, like, there's something to that. I don't know about ketosis or whatever. I don't know anything about that science. When you look at just the nutrients, that's kind of the way to go. Yeah, because the fat also helps you absorb the nutrients from the vegetables. Yeah. Because I have trouble with that because I can't absorb fat. I can't absorb those other nutrients that go with it from vegetables. So it's like, I try to eat as healthy as I can, but like I eat mostly fruit and carbs. Meat, I can have meat as long as it's not very salty.
What kind of carbs are you intaking?
Noodles, like just like
ramen
stuff. No, not ramen. That doesn't have enough in it, and it's not. I get like the burrito pasta.
Like is that like Whole Foods food?
No, you get Walmart.
Burrito pasta.
It's like whatever it is. It gives me energy. That's all I know. Is the next day I have like energy. It helps like my thinking. It's like you can eat like shit all day and still have energy because you don't realize how much fat you're eating. Like if you eat fast food and stuff, you're still getting something. Like any fat's gonna give you energy. It's like cheese or whatever. Like it's gonna give you that. And like I can't absorb that. So like I have to make sure I'm getting enough carbs. I eat a lot of complex carbs every day because it's the only way I can get that type of energy. And it sucks because it's like, it's not like those pasta noodles are not packed with nutrients. But there's a lot of things like that have, like you can get like the veggie types of noodles that do have more nutrients in them. That causes me digestive upset. So it's like I'm kind of screwed.
Kind of like spaghetti squash?
Yeah. Stuff like that, I don't know why. And I can't have any kind of like dried like vegetables or dried fruit. I can't fart. I can. But like, look,
I was like, it took me a second. Like, wait a minute, what?
What it is I like never fart because I never eat anything that makes me fart. Because if I need a fart, it hurts my back. Because like when the bubbles move down there, it like hurts my back. And like,
you know, I do remember that.
Once I'm about to, have we talked about this?
No, I'm saying like in my.
Oh, your back too. Okay, I've talked about this with people with back injuries too. Farting hurt. Like no, farting feels good, but like the right before part, it hurts.
Yeah, because you.
And then you're like, I'm not gonna hold on to this. I don't give a fuck. I'm letting this out. Y'all can get over it. Like my coworkers, they pressure me into eating cake. They're like. You know, like, I hate it when people, like, think I have an eating disorder or whatever, and I'm like, no, I have an actual problem. Like, here are my expensive pills. Look at this. $2,800, by the way, a month without insurance. Just for Creon. Right? Right? So, I mean, I met my deductible in freaking June, so I'm, like, paying nothing for it. I have so much medicine. I met my deductible in June, but it's also a good healthcare plan. That's how I met my deductible. Whatever. Yeah. But, like...
No wonder you're so small. You can't eat?
Well, I'm also not supposed to be short because of them steroids for my asthma that I've been taking every day since I was 2.
You're not supposed to be short?
Yeah, my whole family's tall. Except my sister, she's a little bit taller than me because she didn't have as much of this, like, bad steroids. She didn't take as much prednisone when she was a kid because they came out with these inhalers that worked. These steroid inhalers that, so she's not as short, but she's still short for, like everybody in my family's tall. Yeah. Like, the women are at least, like, 5'11".
What
and
are
the
you,
men
like,
are,
5'5", right? 5'6"?
5'2".
You're 5'2"?
I'm 5'2".
No way. Alana's 5'3", and she looks shorter than you.
There's something tall about me. Maybe it's my energy.
Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I also told you, like, I told you that, like, when I first met you, like, the first time I saw you, you looked like a little person. And then when I talk to you now, you seem like so much more grown.
I'm much more social now that I've been around people more. Like, it's anytime I quit comedy, I'm quitting, like, everything. Like, anytime, like
you're not talking
I've
to
come back, kinda. Like, I go to work and come home because I'm, like, I'm hurt. Like, I'm, like, injured or I'm sick. Like, this past time that I quit comedy, like, when I turned 26 is kind of around the time I quit because, I came off my parents' insurance. I was on this new insurance. It is a good healthcare plan, but they didn't. Blue Cross Blue Shield didn't want to cover, or Caremark, whatever, didn't want to cover my Pulmicort, which is the steroid that I have to take to live. Yeah. So I was like kind of living off samples for a while that I was getting from my doctor, and like I was rationing them, and I was just kind of dumb for like a year. Like I couldn't write new comedy because of the. I wasn't getting enough oxygen in my brain, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't think that the whole time. I didn't think that until I ran out of Pulmicort of my samples, and I had to start trying. They were making me try these 3 other steroid inhalers, and they were like, if they don't work, then we'll cover the Pulmicort. So I had to write, like, essays for this. it was a nightmare. But like this past summer, it got really, really bad. Like I would kind of pop in and out and kind of try to do mics like over like the, I don't know, since like not this past September, but the September before until like May or something when I started trying the inhalers. I was kind of popping in and out of doing comedy, trying, but like in May, I think that's when I started trying these inhalers, and I got bad fast. Just the shallow breathing was really bad, and it was like I couldn't think straight. I was like constantly, everybody's like, "Are you okay?" Just when I was talking to people, because I would get out of breath.
Yeah.
And just like walking was difficult. And on one of them, it was like, you know, when you're running and you're thinking about your breathing, like your breathing is like in and out or whatever on like one foot or something.
Sometimes, yeah. You have to try to like find a rhythm just so you can keep.
That's how I was when I was walking. I was like in, out, and I couldn't. It was like loud. It was like wheezing. I was like, this is bad. And then I ended up fainting at work. Probably because of that, I think. Like, because I wasn't getting enough oxygen in my brain. And I was having spasms because of my back. And I was also having a really hard time breathing. There was like an alert, like not an ozone alert, but a like particles in the air alert thing in Denton or in the area where it was like in the yellow zone that day. Because like I was having to check every day. Like I was like, this is getting scary. Like I was like, I'm not going to come to work if it's in the red. And I like...
You ever think about just wearing one of those face masks when you walk around?
I don't have a problem anymore because I'm back on those meds. Like it's like I don't have asthma. For 17 years, it was like I didn't have asthma, and then they're like, well, we want you to try something else. We don't want to cover that. So I tried those 3 inhalers, and it like sucked. None of them worked. Like one of them, I kept coughing out. I could not. It's like I was having some kind of reaction to it. I was just coughing it out every time I took it. So it's like I couldn't. I even tried, they had me connect this, like, chamber to it, so, like, yeah, sometimes that happens with people, and even then, it still wasn't working. I was still kind of coughing, and I was like, okay. So, I don't know, Pulmicort, though, it's like, I got him to cover it. My doctor had to send them 30 pages of, like, documents, and they had to write stuff. I wrote stuff. I wrote, like, essays, like, detailing, like, an essay, whatever, like, 2 pages, detailing what happened that summer, exactly what happened, the dates of, like, and when I fucking fainted, and all this shit. Like, what happened was I was having spasms because of my back, and I was really having trouble breathing already that day. And then I think I started hyperventilating because, like, sometimes when I have really bad spasms, I'll have, like, a panic attack and start, like, hyperventilating a little bit. And, like, I can hyperventilate now that I'm on Pulmicort. I don't do this. I don't hyperventilate all the time. I don't have panic attacks all the time. But I could hyperventilate and, like, not faint right now. But, like, at that time, my lungs were not okay. What it was is shallow breathing is, like, it's not that you're not filling your lungs up enough. It's that it's holding on to too much air, and it's not going anywhere else, and it's not being exhaled. It's just, like, sitting in there. And this is how my doctor explained it to me. Like, you're not breathing all the way out is what it is. It's not that you're not breathing all the way in, you're not breathing all the way out. So, like, that's why it feels shallow. It feels like you're not, like, it's stopping, but it's because it's, like, full. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. But, like, yeah, that was happening. And that's why I think I fainted was because I wasn't getting enough oxygen in my brain, and I was, like, hyperventilating.
So, for future reference, if that ever happened while we're doing the mics...
If I faint?
No, that, like, you're, like, having the issue where you can't get the oxygen because you're holding it in. And I go and I punch you in the stomach, and, like, you just go, and then everybody is all like, what the fuck you doing?
I was trying to breathe like that. I was trying to, like, to force it out, and I couldn't do it. Like, it was, I don't understand how it works. It's like, but no, please don't punch me in the stomach, Rudy. Like,
okay, I was just wondering. I want to help you out because I know you can get punched like right here in your.
I'm gonna make a post on Facebook later about how you threatened to punch me in the stomach.
What's that muscle right here that contracts and extra and whatever that you can hit when a person, if you just hit it at the right time, you can cause them to lose all the air in the breath, all the breath in their lungs.
I have knocked my breath out so many times, dude, from jumping off of things and landing wrong. My head a lot. Did you know that? We're talking about this. Did you know that if you, I don't know if this is true. What? If you like hit your head a whole lot, like the next time you'll hit your head, you just like get flashbacks to all the other times you hit your head.
No.
Oh.
Wait.
What?
Wait. What?
I used to hit my head a lot. I was a cheerleader, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I don't see it.
One time I got knocked unconscious when I was 5.
How'd you hit your head a lot as a cheerleader? Okay, no. Let's do the 5 story first.
Oh, when I was 5. What did we put a pin in earlier?
Something.
I forgot.
We'll have to do another podcast. Watch back to it. We'll come back to it.
No, this is a lot of fun. I definitely want to talk to you more about anything, man. You're hilarious.
Thank you. Okay. I'll like have to listen back to this and try to like get some bits because I'm having really bad writer's block right now.
What happened when you were 5?
Oh, my cousin was like swinging me around on this rope. I had like these two cousins. I have these two cousins that were like just like me and like climbing shit and like just whatever. They were worse though because they were boys. They were crazy. But he was like swinging me around this. It's like a tire swing, but it's like a plastic seat. Whatever.
Yeah,
Might as well be a tire
I know
swing.
which one you're talking about.
He was like swinging me around on it, and I was like, yeah. And then I hit a tree.
Oh, fuck! Wait, you mean like the...
And then fell down and hit my head again on the ground.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, whatever. But
okay.
I woke up elsewhere is what happened. So...
You mean the type of swing where like...
He was just swinging so
but
high that it hit the tree.
But like it hangs from a branch?
It hangs from a branch. It's
and
just
then,
one rope.
The little blue seat.
The little
right?
blue seat.
Yeah, I know that little blue seat.
Yeah, those were fucking awesome.
And he was swinging you around there and he
Of
got you
course.
too close to the tree.
And I hit the tree.
Okay.
Either that or I fell out and hit the tree. I don't know exactly. It was a long time ago. And also I wasn't there for the whole thing.
Yeah.
I woke up in the living room.
Just like, yeah. And then whack.
Yeah, my parents didn't take me to the doctor either, but I think it's like, well, no, because I think, and technically, if anytime you're knocked unconscious, that's a concussion. Like, you should go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But
I had to take Mama to the doctor because she fucking slipped on some more in the garage, and she.
Were you knocked out?
Yeah.
How long?
A couple times, 2 seconds each time.
No, because like she slipped.
Walking and then just
next time you hit your head and you don't go out, like you're gonna remember those 2 times. You're gonna have flashbacks. You're gonna be like, oh, I've hit my head so much. This feeling feels so familiar. No, what happened? Was that I was
totally a bit though.
In cheerleading, like in college when we were like my freshman year, we were about to go to camp. They had us do this concussion screening, and they were like, we had to take this like computer test and ask a bunch of questions like, have you ever hit your head really hard? Have you ever had a concussion? And I was like, no. And then like I went to this show, and I don't remember who it was playing. It was like post-hardcore, whatever. Like I don't know, like Dance Gavin Dance, whatever stuff I was like really into at that time, and like.
Wait, Gavin Dance? Is that what you said? What's Dance Gavin Dance?
Like,
is that like a rock band?
Post-hardcore, screamo, that's like what I was like really, yeah. So people were crowd surfing anyway, and this guy who's like, he's a big guy, he like fell on me. Well, I think what happened at first is like his foot, like his heel just went like that on my head, and then I didn't, like, I wasn't, there was like a break in the crowd, he like fell through, and like he fell to the ground, I fell to the ground, and I like, when he like hit me in the head, I was like, whoa, that's so familiar, and I just like remembered all the times I had hit my head, and I was like, oh no, I answered the questions wrong on the concussion screening. I've had a concussion before I've been knocked unconscious. What the hell? Like,
wait a minute.
I also fell on a lot of like knees and cheerleading because like if they don't catch you right, like sometimes they go down and like your back spotter has like her arms are like catching you, and then if she like takes a knee, her other knee's up, and that's where my head hit a few times, like right on the knee. So yeah,
horrible cheerleader.
It's
people.
just, huh?
So you had horrible cheerleader people.
It's so like cheerleading with one person, like with a guy, like doing partner stunts is like so much easier, so much safer than like with 3 girls, because it's like one brain first of all, like doing everything, and then like when it's 3 girls, it's terrifying. Honestly, like basket tosses where they hold hands, like you make like a square, like a basket weave, and you're supposed to put your feet on that these knuckles, and they throw you up, and if your foot's like slightly off, you're gonna go that way, or if they're different heights and somebody's arms are longer, you're gonna go that way, and like it's like the dumbest like idea, but like it's so fucking fun. Like when like I remember like they wouldn't let us do anything like this in high school, but in college there's like a basket toss, you do a backflip and then you fucking land, and it was so scary, but woo, it was fun. And like there's a video of me, I need to find it, somebody's mom has it. Yeah. I was posted on Facebook and I cannot find it, and I need to like contact them because I want to have it, because like of me doing that. Like I have like so little footage of me doing the real cool stuff. Like I have some stuff, but the really cool stuff I don't really have good video of. Like there's this other stunt that's like And it was bad. Like, the video, like, I had bad form,
Yeah.
and it was also, like, the day after I had, like, broke a girl's nose by...
By what?
I threw my head back
Uh-huh.
instead of, like, riding the, like, getting enough air before flipping. So, I, like, kind of went back. So, the whole stunt group had to move back. I don't think it was their fault. I think it was my fault. I had a tendency to throw my head back, and the girl, like, my tailbone hit her in the nose.
Like
and,
your
like,
ass tailbone?
yeah, my ass tailbone, not my other tailbone, my ass tailbone.
I've never heard of somebody's ass tailbone breaking a nose.
Yeah! I fucking broke her nose. And you know what? Pain is weakness leaving the body.
Yeah.
Helen, I'm so sorry. She kept going. Like, she was there for, this was cheerleading camp. She broke her nose, but she was still cheerleading. Like, she was still there the next day. We did that stunt. She caught me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We all had that mentality. Like, it's so, like, you gotta push through the pain. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, football players, like, are taught that. It's like they're going to war. It's like, it's a game. Like, don't teach these kids that they need to ruin their bodies, and then they're like, it's like you got, like, athletes and, like, they're, like, more capable of doing stuff, like, they're than most people. Like, they can do kind of, like, just more stuff, more impressive stuff. Sometimes, like, extraordinary stuff, like Olympians and shit. But, like, if you're pushed to a certain point, like, you're gonna hurt yourself to the point of where you're gonna be not even independent anymore sometimes. Like, not even talking about, like, paralysis or anything, but, like, repetitive motion injuries, like mine, like, shit like that. Like, I can't do normal things because of that, because I was, like, pushed too hard. And I mean, it was also me being dumb and me, like, really liking that mentality and stuff. But it's like, don't fucking tell kids that.
They're so
It's
impressionable.
so stupid. It's so, and it's like,
What they
it's
should
just
have
because they want, like, funding for, like,
Yeah.
whatever their sports, and, like, they want, I don't know, they want medals.
They
and
should have had
whatever.
they should have had that cat that's like hanging by a string where it says "Hang in there, buddy." You know,
That's what
like-
they should put in the weight room.
Yeah, like you're okay, everything's cool, no pressure,
that's
but
what it
we
should
got
be.
it.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what it should be. Maybe that should be your screensaver.
Yeah, it should be. That's what I'm gonna do. That's a good idea.
Who's that? Hi. Oh, I know who you are. You're Everett's girlfriend, wife. Sorry.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'm like, who is this person just walking in? Sorry. Anyway,
Numbers are here.
what were you talking about? Oh yeah, the poster and that you having those crazy.
Oh,
injuries.
but like, okay, like kids, like these like football players and stuff. Like, I wonder if things are changing now. And like volleyball players and soccer players, that I've noticed, like people just, I see it on Facebook. These people that I went to high school with, they're like going through, like, people do like post updates about their life. They're like going through all these surgeries and they're like struggling and shit. And it's because they were pushed too hard in high school. Like, it's literally these injuries that like kind of got worse in their 20s when they're out of high school. And that's something that like coaches and shit, like, they didn't see, you know. You graduate and they don't see you anymore. And they don't see the kind of impact that they're like leaving on these kids and the rest of their lives. And I wonder if maybe, like, I don't know, like maybe Facebook, like, because like people are friends with like coaches and stuff, like once they graduate, like maybe they're seeing that now, and they're seeing the kind of like really negative impact they've kind of left on these kids.
But
by
does it help though? Because does it even help because the coach is not the same? So more times it's not the same coach anymore because he's more like retired or whatever.
Not where I grew up.
No. Where'd you grow up?
Stephenville.
Stephenville.
Sorry, Stephenville.
That is not that is, but Texas, right?
Yeah.
Texas. You a Texas native? You don't act. I mean, not you don't act like it, but you don't have like. You don't have any
I watched
strong
a
like.
lot of TV when I was a kid.
You
It
don't
gets it out of you.
Oh, is that what it is? You know what's funny? When my firstborn was growing up, we watched a lot of Alpha Blocks, and Alpha Blocks, they teach you how to enunciate vowels and everything, you know, but they're from the UK, so when they say certain words, one that stood out that I remember is off. They would say off, and he'd be like, oh, off. My son would just be walking around, oh, turn the light off. It's so funny that he would talk like that. Oh man, so but like, yeah, that gave him a different way of his cadence was a little different when he would talk about certain things, but you don't have that. Yeah, they don't have the Texas thing. And
Honestly,
I don't
if you
have it
a
either.
Texas thing though, hang on, there's one thing.
What?
Say like say I went to the grocery store and I got eggs.
Okay.
Say that.
I went to the grocery store and I got eggs.
You have the Texas thing.
I
This
do?
one thing. Okay.
What
Wait, say it
thing?
one more time.
I went to the grocery store and got eggs.
No, and I got eggs. Say it again.
I went to the grocery store and I got eggs.
No, you tried too hard that time.
Well, because you
Don't think about it. Okay, no, I think I got it though. Okay, so it's I. Okay, I love doing this because like people say if you're like really like Texan or whatever, you say in the beginning of a sentence, but a lot of Texans and people don't do this other places. It's just or maybe in like southern places they do, but like in the north or whatever, I guess they don't do. They don't say, okay, but I'll start a sentence saying, I went to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
But once I'm in, like, it's in the middle of a sentence, I'll say ah. Like, I'll start a sentence with I, but if I is in the middle of a sentence, I say ah. And fucking everybody here does this. You did it.
I did?
Yep.
Huh.
But you didn't start with ah, you start with I, but then in the middle of a sentence, you say ah. But that's not a thing that, like, I don't know, people like in like New York and LA and like people on TV they say I. Like they pronounce it.
Yeah. I can't what?
I don't do that. So
shut up. You don't know you don't do that.
Oh,
I didn't.
You know what?
I didn't test you.
She
Now
always,
she knows.
She always feels like she's the best at self-evaluating. I always tell
Are
her
you from
the
Texas?
worst.
From Michigan. He says I have a southern accent.
You way have a southern accent.
She just said ah. You just said it.
See, you said it right now. No, you didn't say it. See, I told you. Self-evaluation is always the worst. Never self-evaluate.
Maybe, you know what, maybe they do it in Michigan too. I don't know. Maybe it's not just a Texan thing, but I think it is.
No, she's been here. She's been in Texas.
I've been here long now.
She's been here too long.
It
happened.
Yeah. I still don't.
Michigan, we had these like, you know, like I don't want to like talk bad about the other male cheerleaders, but like the ones from Michigan, they just stunt way better than everybody else. We had these 3 guys from Michigan, and they were like so good. I don't know why this isn't that interesting, but like they were so good. They learned from like somebody else, and they were just so good at stunting. Like I don't know. I want to start doing that again when I have time. Like I want to like go to. There's this gym.
No, you're gonna kill yourself. You know you can only take so many concussions.
Guys. No, dude, with guys, like I've fallen 2 times, and both of them were my fault. Like elbow went into the guy's mouth, and then my tailbone hit the guy in the throat, the other guy. So like
okay, maybe you are the
got
problem.
A sharp tailbone, I guess.
Don't get into cheerleading. Stay out
But
there.
the only thing is, like, that's it. But I've done it a lot with guys. It's so much easier with like a guy, with like one person who like knows what they're doing. It's like there's this one stunt. It's called a rewind. They like grab your hips and like throw you up, and like I guess as you're jumping, I feel like actually I don't know, they do like put their hand on your back to like push you up. You do a backflip and land in their hands.
You already broke your back.
They throw you up, you do a backflip, you land in their fucking hands, and there's this thing, it's like physics where like no, like I didn't break it. It's like physics where like you like my back is hurting right now, but I'm just like interested in this. Okay, sorry. I'm like not focusing on the pain right now. But like okay, so like to stop your rotation, because I would like do the stunt and be like, how the fuck am I even doing this stunt? And they're like, it's like what we told you, you look down. So like what you do is like to keep yourself from like over rotating, because you'll just keep going if you like throw your head back or whatever. You have to like think once they your feet hit their hands, look down. Because then it stops, like your head like stops your rotation. Like, and when you do like spinning up, like they'll be like into looking on this corner, because when you stop, your body goes like this.
Yeah.
So like, don't keep your head like this, or you'll keep going. It's like, it's weird. It's like physics. What was I talking about? Oh, so I can only sleep in one position. Sometimes I can sleep on my side, but like. I don't know, not all the time. I normally
how do you sleep?
Sleep in this, huh?
How do you sleep?
Okay. So, I have a wedge pillow that my back is, like, propped up on. And then I have, like, 3 pillows that my legs are, like, this on. Like, they're under my knees. Yeah. And then to keep myself from rolling over, because I always slept on my stomach before I got injured, I put 2 towels, like, right here on either side of my head, because that's how you prevent rotation. If you can't turn your head, you won't turn your body, dude. Like, okay, whenever I was first having to sleep like that, I would put clothespins around my shirt so that it would hurt whenever I roll over. Still do it.
You would just stab yourself in the stomach.
Yes! But it was still more comfortable to sleep on my stomach. See, I've been such a work in progress with, like, how to, like, like, I've been, like, learning in my 20s, like, how to live with my medical problems and, like, my injuries and, like, figuring it out. Like, if I weigh a little bit less, I can sleep on my side. Like, right now, I can sleep on my side.
You can or can't?
Can.
Okay.
But...
I'm about to say, wait a minute, you weigh a little less. How much less can you weigh, sis?
Like, every time I gain weight, I have to quit doing comedy because I can't stop taking muscle relaxers because I'm in more pain.
Yeah,
I cannot do comedy on muscle relaxers. It sucks. I'm so bad at it. Yesterday I had to take one at work, and like that show, I was like, oh, is it going to be worn off in time? And it was, and I was fine, but it was like, yeah.
All right. Well,
my bad. I've been talking for a long time.
No, that's what we're supposed to be doing. This is about talking.
My back's been hurting.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, thank you for coming on the podcast. I learned so much more about you. This is so much fun.
Am I supposed to talk the whole time about myself? Was I supposed to do that?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
I feel like that's what people have done before I watched.
It's not your podcast, but I'm here to fucking talk.
I just want to explain.
I'm here to get to know you as a person.
Why I'm strange.
No. I'm gonna argue that this does not explain why you're strange.
Yeah.
Because you're very quiet out there. When you wear out, you're very quiet. I can understand the movement part, but like you're just like super like. So, seeing you here is like completely different person.
See, I'm trying to be more myself on stage, rather than that.
Well, I see. I don't have a problem with yourself.
I do.
With the way you.
People think it's like a thing, like a I don't know, like a persona or whatever, but it's not. It's me being uncomfortable. I have stage fright.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to be more. I just want to be more myself on stage. Like I know, like people don't like think it's like.
Right now, I have a crutch.
Yeah.
When I'm on stage, and that crutch is that glass of wine.
Wow.
And when I have the cup, like I did last night, I don't do as well.
Really?
Yeah, because something about when I have a wine glass and the way I hold it, I feel arrogant. Because I'm standing with a glass of wine, and that arrogance is what has me do better on stage. Because
gives you confidence.
Yes, in a way. So, but when I had that cup, it's like I'm drinking wine out of a fucking cup. And like, but like I figured that, I don't even know how I figured that out. I just one day just went up there, I was drinking wine, I was like, I'm just doing my set. And I was just like, I really had a good set. And I was just sitting there and I'm sipping and I'm talking with my wine in my hand. I'll take a sip if I need to take a minute to think about something. And maybe one day I'll be able to evolve where I don't need it, but I like the fact that I have confidence. Mm-hmm. So, and I also like having a couple sips of wine while I'm on stage. So, I don't know. But like I see your comedy, and I see like that you do have like that little nervousness, but it kind of like it's like it's all pieced together. It all pieces together because like even the way you talk, you're like the bits you do.
It gets in the way. I have some bits that I don't do specifically because I'm not delivering them well because I am nervous. So that's the thing. It is actually like hindering me. I need to be more myself so I can do everything that I've written. I don't know. 666.
I can't believe you have that tattoo on your neck.
I'll explain next time.
That's cool. Okay. That's right. That's what we put a pin
on. But it's not like I'm not a Satan worshiper or anything. I don't believe in anything supernatural, and it kind of has to do with that. But
I don't know. Right now, with that light hitting your face with the darkness, you would look like you're pretty evil. Anyway, Sid, thank you for coming on. That was amazing. I really enjoyed this podcast, and I really enjoyed getting to know you as a person. And I think next time you have injuries to where like it keeps you from being able to do comedy, I think maybe I'll talk to some of the comics that were friends with you, and we're gonna be like, you know what? Let's bring the comedy to her, and we'll come to your house,
Okay.
and we'll bring you like.
There's
fruit.
not a next time, but okay.
We'll bring you like. Well, you never know. We'll bring you like fruit so you can eat.
Yeah.
And come and sit down and
Vinegar.
not trying to vinegar and not to say like to cheer you up, but to let you know.
Yeah.
We miss you being up there.
Aw, that's sweet.
Well, the way I see it, if I'm friends with somebody, like I want to do this with Scott Worley. Do you remember Scott Worley?
Who is that?
He was a comic with a mustache. He was like 5'6" or 7".
Familiar.
White. He always had like his he always wore like button-up shirts looking like Bob Vila.
Maybe not.
And he was a younger guy, but like he got divorced from his wife, and then he disappeared from comedy. And I'm sad that he's gone. I do miss the guy, but I can't do anything to talk him back into coming into comedy. I didn't talk to him. I didn't know him well enough to like be like to show up at his house.
Maybe he quit because of a different reason, though.
No, I don't know why he quit. I'm just saying he just stopped.
Yeah,
but like,
people
like,
always think I like was depressed or something. It's like no.
But we'll get to know you more like this, and you know, obviously I'd have to ask you if that's okay. But if you're ever injured and you're gone from comedy, I wouldn't mind being like, hey, can we come visit you and make you feel better for not being able to be there?
Hell yeah.
Would that be alright sometime? I don't want you to disappear, but if anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. On that, I'll see you later. And wait. I need to do your outro.
Oh.
I mean, we don't have to, but it's fun.
Was it the intro song too?
Yeah. All right, guys, and we will. Oh yeah. All right, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you actually in half an hour to 20 minutes for the next episode.